We live in a world where peace can feel like a luxury. Every day brings new challenges, unpredictable moments, and things we didn't see coming. From a flat tire on the way to work to sudden critical news from a loved one, our days can be packed with experiences that test our patience, emotional strength, and ability to stay calm. But here's the thing, staying calm, truly calm, isn't just possible. It's a skill anyone can learn. It's something we can each develop to a point where stress doesn't drive our reactions and peace becomes our natural state. In Stoicism, this inner calm is more than just a mood. It's a way of life, a path to navigating whatever life throws our way. At the heart of calmness is the understanding that we can't control everything around us, but we can always choose how we respond. With that mindset, even the most challenging moments start to feel different. Life stops feeling like a constant battle to get control of everything, and instead, it becomes a journey where we let go of what we can't change. We learn to direct our energy to what we can shape: our actions, our choices, and our reactions. This focus not only frees us from unnecessary stress, but also empowers us to respond with wisdom and clarity. When things go wrong, our first instinct is often to resist, question, or even feel frustrated by what's happening. But what if, instead of feeling overwhelmed by our emotions, we could learn to see them as visitors passing through? This doesn't mean ignoring our feelings. It's about understanding that they don't control us. Anger, worry, sadness, all are natural, but we don't have to let them take charge. We can notice them, feel them, but then choose not to act impulsively based on them. This approach opens a new way to experience life's ups and downs without letting the downs pull us too deep. Picture a day where, instead of being swept up by stress, you approach challenges with a sense of inner stillness. You might wake up to find an inbox full of urgent messages or have a difficult conversation that you didn't expect. Yet, instead of feeling pressured, you're able to take a breath and respond calmly. The world may not change, but your relationship to it can. As you handle each task, big or small, you feel steady, with a sense of space in your mind to make wise choices. This isn't magic, or even something that's out of reach. It's the result of practices that are grounded, real, and achievable. One of the most transformative things about choosing calmness is that it frees us from the constant rush and worry. It's easy to spend our days worrying about the future or analyzing the past, but this habit robs us of our most valuable resource, the present. By focusing on each moment as it comes, we create room for peace and calmness to grow within us. Every decision, every reaction is grounded in the here and now, not clouded by regret or anxiety about what could be. This clarity brings an unexpected gift. Instead of feeling exhausted by our day, we end up feeling enriched by it. Embracing calmness also lets us recognize the beauty in simplicity. We realize we don't need to have perfect lives or ideal circumstances to feel content. Instead, we learn to see joy in small, everyday moments. The taste of a morning coffee, the warmth of sunlight through the window, or a friendly exchange with a colleague. These little things, often overlooked, become our anchors, helping us stay grounded even on the busiest days. Rather than chasing after an ideal of happiness, we start to feel it in the present, just as things are. Choosing calmness doesn't mean life won't be hard or that difficult emotions will disappear. It means we face these moments differently. Instead of shrinking from pain, we learn to face it with courage and a quiet acceptance. There's a kind of strength in accepting that life includes both joy and challenge. When we stop resisting, our energy shifts from trying to control what we can't to making the best of each situation. This is where inner peace grows. not from avoiding hardship, but from learning to be strong within it. Calmness, at its core, is about resilience. It's about becoming someone who remains steady no matter what. Over time, it gives us a kind of quiet confidence. We start to believe that no matter what happens, we'll be okay. This trust in ourselves changes everything. We no longer feel at the mercy of every stressful moment or unexpected setback. Instead, we handle each one with a calm, steady strength that isn't easily shaken. Practices like daily reflection, gratitude, and focusing on what matters most aren't just ideas. They're tools that give us this inner peace. They're ways of training the mind to stay calm in a world that often feels anything but. These practices help us to feel grounded, centered, and free from the endless pull of stress and worry. Each of them offers a way to find calm, not by waiting for life to be easier, but by changing how we experience it. Gratitude, for instance, helps shift our focus. When we choose to notice what's good, we bring our attention to things that nurture our peace. Even on a tough day, a moment of appreciation can remind us that life is about more than the hard parts. Similarly, daily reflection lets us process our thoughts and emotions so that they don't build up inside us. It's a chance to release, to clear the mental clutter that can otherwise weigh us down. And in doing so, it becomes easier to meet each new day with a sense of calm. The foundation of calmness also rests on something we often take for granted: our physical health. A balanced lifestyle, getting enough sleep, eating well, moving our bodies, gives us the strength to face stress without breaking down. When our bodies are well cared for, our minds become resilient too. Physical health and mental calmness are deeply linked, each one supporting the other. By taking small steps to care for ourselves, we set up a strong foundation for peace. In moments when calmness feels hard to reach, it helps to remember that this journey is not about perfection. We're human, and there will be times when we feel overwhelmed or uncertain. But each small step, each moment of reflection, each breath taken mindfully, each instance of choosing peace over reaction, brings us closer to a life where calmness feels natural, where inner peace is more than a goal. It's a state of being. As we walk this path, there's a profound realization that we don't need to change who we are or what we feel to find peace. We just need to change how we relate to the world around us. We can let go of the need for perfect outcomes, allow ourselves to be imperfect, and make room for calmness, even in the messiness of life. And as we do, we build a mind that remains still and peaceful, no matter what. The journey to inner peace begins here. The thoughts and emotions we often push away, those inner currents we struggle against, they're all a part of who we are. Instead of running from them, there's an alternative that unlocks a calm so deep it transforms our experience of the world. Embracing difficult emotions without resistance might sound challenging, but it's a powerful approach to living fully and peacefully. By letting go of the urge to fight every unwanted feeling, we open a door to understanding and true calm. When thoughts arise that feel heavy, unsettling, or even painful, there's a natural instinct to push them away. That resistance, however, only strengthens their hold. It's as if each struggle against a thought or feeling tightens the very chains that bind us. So, what happens when we soften that resistance? When we allow emotions to flow through rather than battle them? This shift in approach can reshape our minds and bring a profound sense of relief. Embracing what we feel, even when it's uncomfortable, is the first step in building an unshakable calm. Acceptance is key. Consider what it feels like to allow something difficult to exist without judgment. When we face an emotion like anger, sadness, or fear, our first impulse is often to label it as bad or negative, to view it as a disruption of our peace. But by doing so, we become attached to the idea that some feelings are good and others are bad, that certain parts of our experience are more acceptable than others. This attachment creates a cycle where we constantly try to push away what doesn't feel good, and in that rejection, we resist life itself. To accept an emotion is to let it be, without judgment or urgency. It's like giving it a space within us to simply exist. Acceptance doesn't mean we approve of every thought or feeling that comes up. It simply means we acknowledge its presence, allowing ourselves to feel what's there without forcing it to change or go away. This approach helps us realize that emotions are temporary visitors. Each one, no matter how intense, eventually passes on its own. When we accept rather than resist, we experience the flow of emotions without becoming trapped by them. The mind often reacts with stories and assumptions about what a feeling means, adding layers of complexity to what may simply be a passing mood or sensation. If sadness arises, for example, the mind may start to weave a narrative around it, interpreting it as a sign of failure or unworthiness. This story deepens the sadness, making it more overwhelming. But when we strip away those narratives and let the feeling exist as it is, without attaching meaning or judgment, we free ourselves from the mental weight that often accompanies emotions. There's also the misconception that acceptance means passivity, that allowing ourselves to feel difficult emotions makes us weak or complacent. But acceptance is not surrender in the way many think. It's an active process, a choice to experience what's happening without resistance. This openness requires strength, the strength to sit with discomfort without rushing to escape it. Over time, this practice builds resilience. By acknowledging the full spectrum of our emotions, we become more familiar with them, less likely to be overwhelmed by their presence. We learn to feel deeply without losing our center. One powerful way to approach emotions without resistance is to observe them with curiosity. When a difficult feeling arises, try noticing it as if you were watching a cloud drifting across the sky. Observe how it moves, how it feels in the body, and how it changes from moment to moment. Curiosity lets us step back from our emotions, creating a space where we can witness them rather than be swept up by them. This gentle distance allows us to remain calm and aware, even as we experience something intense. Breathing deeply and slowly when emotions become overwhelming can also help us stay grounded. Breath anchors us in the present moment, bringing us back to a state of awareness that calms the mind and body. When a strong emotion arises, a few deep breaths can create a pause, a space in which we can observe the emotion rather than react to it. In this pause, we gain perspective, allowing us to understand that while the emotion feels powerful, it doesn't control us. There is wisdom in understanding that emotions, even the challenging ones, have a purpose. Fear can sharpen our awareness, anger can reveal boundaries we need to set, and sadness can show us areas of life where we feel a sense of loss or need for change. By embracing these feelings, we honor their role in our lives, gaining insights that might be missed if we were to push them away. Acceptance allows us to listen, to learn what each feeling has to teach without being controlled by it. When we let go of the need to fix or change our emotions, we begin to trust the natural process of our inner world. Emotions rise and fall, they come and go. There is peace in this rhythm, a steady flow that we can observe without interfering. Trusting this process lets us relax our grip, loosening the need for control. In that relaxation, we find a freedom to simply be, to let each moment unfold with a calm presence. By embracing emotions as they are, without resistance, we also learn to soften our relationship with ourselves. Often, we are hardest on ourselves, expecting constant positivity, constant progress, a constant state of calm. But life is naturally full of contrast, and part of inner peace is welcoming the full experience of being human. To feel is not a flaw or a weakness. It is a testament to our capacity for life. Accepting our emotions is a way of accepting ourselves as we are, with compassion and grace. This acceptance does not mean that we allow emotions to control our actions. On the contrary, by feeling emotions fully and allowing them to pass, we gain the clarity needed to respond wisely rather than impulsively. When we resist or deny our feelings, they tend to surface in unexpected ways, often driving our behavior unconsciously. By embracing our emotions openly, we free ourselves from the hidden influence they might otherwise have on our actions, allowing us to act from a place of calm and clarity. Each time we accept rather than resist, we are training our minds to handle stress more gracefully. Over time, this practice builds an inner calm that becomes a part of who we are. It's not about numbing our feelings or pretending that we don't experience pain or discomfort. Instead, it's about acknowledging these experiences with a sense of ease, knowing that they are part of life's natural ebb and flow. Embracing emotions without resistance is a daily practice, one that requires patience and commitment. It's like tending to a garden. Each moment of acceptance is a seed that grows into resilience. Each moment of compassion, a flower that blossoms into peace. With time, this garden flourishes, filling us with a calm that remains steady even when storms arise. In a world that often tells us to hide or control our feelings, the choice to embrace them openly is a radical act of self-compassion. It's a choice to live fully, to feel deeply, and to respond to life with the grace and strength that only acceptance can bring. Through this practice, we become more than just reactive beings. We become observers of our own experience, grounded in a calm that allows us to navigate life with wisdom and peace. And as we move forward on this journey, each step brings us closer to an unshakable calm that not only shapes our own lives, but also influences those around us, creating a ripple of peace in the world. In embracing our emotions without resistance, we begin to uncover a sense of calm that goes deeper than we might have thought possible. Yet, this process becomes even richer when we add regular moments of reflection into our lives. Pausing to reflect allows us to gently sift through our thoughts and experiences, making sense of emotions without feeling consumed by them. Reflection is a practice of creating space, a safe, quiet sanctuary within where we can explore, process, and understand ourselves. This small act of pausing, of looking inward, brings clarity and depth that reshapes our lives, allowing calm to settle in fully and naturally. When we take time to reflect each day, we gift ourselves a moment of stillness in a world that rarely stops. This moment of reflection is more than just thinking back on our day. It's a chance to look within and observe what lies beneath the surface of our experiences. We start to notice patterns, moments when we felt peace, situations that triggered stress, and choices that brought us closer to or further from our calm. This awareness is powerful. It allows us to understand ourselves better, helping us recognize what truly serves us and what does not. Through this gentle examination, we become more in tune with who we are and what we need to stay grounded. Reflection offers a form of mental cleansing, helping to clear away emotional clutter that can build up over time. Each day brings new thoughts, challenges, and reactions, and without reflection, these can pile up, creating a sense of overwhelm. But when we dedicate time to pause and consider, we give ourselves the space to let go of what no longer serves us. It's a way of decluttering the mind, making room for fresh insights and a renewed sense of calm. This process allows us to approach each day with a clear mind, unburdened by the weight of unresolved thoughts and emotions. Setting aside time for reflection helps us stay balanced. Life has a way of sweeping us up, pulling our attention in 1,000 directions, leaving little room for self-awareness. But in that dedicated time, even if it's only a few minutes, we reclaim our connection to ourselves. It's as though we're tuning an instrument, adjusting each string until it resonates with clarity and harmony. This practice keeps us aligned with our inner self, helping us stay calm and focused, regardless of external chaos. As we deepen this habit, we find that reflection becomes an anchor, grounding us through life's inevitable ups and downs. Reflection is also a time to befriend our inner world. Many of us are so used to focusing outward, on tasks, on others, on goals, that we forget to look within. By regularly taking a moment to reflect, we nurture a relationship with ourselves. We start to see our thoughts and emotions not as obstacles or distractions, but as valuable parts of who we are. This shift is transformative. It teaches us to approach ourselves with gentleness and curiosity, allowing us to embrace our inner life with openness. This acceptance creates a peaceful relationship with our mind, a relationship built on understanding rather than resistance. Through reflection, we learn the art of observing without attachment. This practice invites us to look at our experiences without judgment, allowing us to see them clearly without getting caught up in them. If a thought of worry or regret arises, reflection lets us acknowledge it without letting it define us. This sense of detachment brings a profound calm, freeing us from the need to constantly analyze or fix every feeling. It teaches us that our thoughts are like waves. They come and go, each one a passing moment in the vast ocean of our awareness. By simply observing, we find peace in letting things be as they are. Reflection also provides perspective. When we take a step back to look at our day, we gain a broader view of our life, one that goes beyond the immediate moment. This distance allows us to see events and emotions in context, revealing patterns and insights that are hard to notice in the heat of the moment. We might recognize a recurring reaction to certain situations, or see that a challenge we faced wasn't as overwhelming as it seemed at first. This perspective is calming because it reminds us that each moment is part of a bigger picture, a picture that is often more manageable than it appears up close. Daily reflection helps us build a habit of self-acceptance. When we regularly pause to look inward, we encounter our strengths and our struggles, our successes and our missteps. Over time, this practice teaches us to embrace all parts of ourselves with compassion. We start to see that we don't need to be perfect to be at peace. This understanding frees us from the constant drive to change or improve ourselves, allowing us to settle into a calm that comes from accepting who we are, fully and unconditionally. This acceptance is a deep source of inner peace, a peace that does not waver in the face of life's imperfections. In reflecting daily, we also cultivate a sense of gratitude. When we look back on our day, we start to notice moments of beauty, kindness and joy that might otherwise go unappreciated. This awareness shifts our focus from what's missing to what's present, helping us see the value in each experience, however small. Gratitude enriches our calm by reminding us of the good that exists in our lives, grounding us in a sense of abundance rather than lack. This shift brings a warmth to our inner life, a feeling of contentment that supports a lasting calm. Reflection can be a form of gentle self-guidance, helping us stay aligned with our values and intentions. As we look back on our day, we can ask ourselves whether our actions reflected the person we want to be. This question is not about criticism or regret. It's about staying true to our path. Through reflection, we become more intentional in our choices, aligning our actions with our deepest values. This alignment fosters a sense of peace, as we know that we are living in harmony with ourselves. It's a quiet confidence that comes from knowing we are walking our own path, true to who we are. By setting aside time for reflection, we learn to approach life with patience. In a fast-paced world, the act of slowing down to reflect teaches us that not everything needs an immediate solution. We begin to trust that answers and insights will come in their own time. This patience extends beyond our reflection practice, influencing how we respond to challenges and uncertainties. We learn to move through life with a calm steadiness, knowing that each moment has its own rhythm, its own pace. This trust in life's natural unfolding brings a profound sense of ease, a calm that is rooted in patience and presence. Reflection also deepens our ability to forgive ourselves and others. As we look back on our experiences, we start to see moments where we might have acted differently or where others may have hurt us. Instead of holding on to resentment or regret, reflection allows us to release these burdens. We learn to let go of past grievances, understanding that forgiveness is an act of liberation, freeing us from emotional chains. This release lightens our hearts, making room for calm and joy to flow freely within us. In a world that often values productivity over presence, the choice to dedicate time to reflection is a radical one. It's a choice to prioritize our inner well-being over external demands, to honor our need for stillness amidst the noise. This practice reminds us that true peace comes not from constant doing, but from simply being. In the quiet of reflection, we reconnect with this truth, finding a calm that no amount of productivity can replace. Daily reflection is not about fixing ourselves or seeking perfection. It's about coming home to ourselves. It's a gentle return to the present, a way of honoring each moment as it is. Through this practice, we build a sanctuary within, a place of calm that remains untouched by life's external storms. This inner sanctuary becomes a source of strength, a place we can always return to for clarity, peace, and perspective. In dedicating time to reflection, we discover a calm that is steady, a calm that stays with us no matter what life brings. As we move forward with this practice, each moment of reflection deepens our understanding, our compassion, and our peace. We begin to see that calmness is not a destination, but a way of being, a journey that unfolds one quiet moment at a time. And with each pause, we grow more rooted in a peace that is as constant as it is gentle, a peace that guides us through all of life's seasons. Reflecting each day has opened our minds to a clearer, calmer way of seeing ourselves and the world. This clarity becomes even deeper when we turn our focus toward gratitude, shifting from what might be missing to what is already present in our lives. Gratitude is a quiet, powerful practice that enriches us, making even the simplest parts of our day shine with value. By cultivating gratitude, we train our minds to see abundance rather than lack, inviting a natural calm and contentment that fills each moment. Gratitude begins with noticing. In the busyness of everyday life, we often overlook the small, beautiful details around us. The warmth of the sun, a kind word from a friend, a moment of silence. All these are gifts we tend to take for granted. When we practice gratitude, we open our awareness to these details, teaching ourselves to see the richness of life's simple pleasures. This shift helps us find joy in places we might have missed, creating a foundation of peace and appreciation that grows stronger with each passing day. By actively practicing gratitude, we change the way we experience challenges. Life is full of ups and downs, and while it's easy to feel grateful when things go well, real strength comes from finding gratitude even in difficult times. When we focus on what remains good or steady during hardship, we realize that life's difficulties don't have to overshadow everything. This perspective doesn't deny pain or struggle. Instead, it helps us see that even in tough times, there are aspects of life that remain a source of strength and comfort. Gratitude, then, becomes a guide, helping us find balance and calm through every season. Gratitude also connects us to others in a meaningful way. When we express thanks for the people in our lives, we strengthen bonds that provide a deep sense of belonging and support. Whether it's a friend, family member, or even a stranger who offered a small kindness, acknowledging the value of these connections reminds us that we're not alone. This awareness fosters a feeling of gratitude for the companionship and shared experiences that fill our lives, reinforcing a sense of calm rooted in connection and community. These moments of appreciation build a foundation of trust and warmth, creating a network of support that we can lean on in times of need. One of the simplest and most powerful ways to practice gratitude is to begin each day by acknowledging a few things we're thankful for. This morning ritual sets a positive tone, gently guiding our minds to focus on what's going well instead of what's lacking. By starting the day with gratitude, we frame our experiences through a lens of appreciation, which stays with us throughout the day. This daily practice cultivates a mindset that naturally gravitates toward peace, helping us navigate challenges with a steady, grateful heart. Gratitude invites us to see our lives as full and complete, right as they are. So often, we chase after what we think will bring happiness, a new possession, a future achievement, a goal yet to be reached. But gratitude reminds us that fulfillment doesn't depend on what we gain. It's found in appreciating what we already have. This perspective frees us from the cycle of constant striving, teaching us to enjoy the present without waiting for things to change. As we learn to feel content in this way, we experience a calm that doesn't rely on circumstances or possessions, a peace rooted in simply being present. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean we ignore difficulties or pretend everything is perfect. Instead, it helps us recognize that even in challenging times, there are aspects of life worthy of appreciation. We might face disappointment, loss, or stress, but gratitude helps us find moments of light within those shadows. This balanced view allows us to acknowledge both the positive and the negative, without letting one overshadow the other. Gratitude brings a gentle acceptance that life's beauty and pain coexist, and in that acceptance, we find a calm that embraces all aspects of our journey. Gratitude has a way of grounding us. When we pause to appreciate our surroundings, we create a sense of stillness that anchors us in the present moment. This presence, this awareness of the here and now, keeps us from getting lost in worries about the future or regrets from the past. Gratitude brings our attention back to what is directly in front of us, allowing us to fully experience each moment with a calm mind and open heart. Through this grounded perspective, we build resilience, a strength that grows with each thankful thought, helping us navigate life with calm and balance. The practice of gratitude also nurtures humility. When we recognize the many blessings in our lives, we become aware of how much we owe to others, to nature, and to life itself. This sense of humility reminds us that we are part of a greater whole, connected to something beyond ourselves. By humbling our perspective, gratitude dissolves the barriers that create isolation, replacing them with a calm connection to the world around us. This deep awareness fosters respect for life in all its forms, filling us with a quiet peace that comes from feeling at home within ourselves and our surroundings. When we cultivate gratitude, we also shift our focus from scarcity to abundance. It's easy to get caught up in what we lack, but gratitude reminds us of what we already have. This shift from not enough to more than enough changes how we view ourselves and our lives. It reveals the richness in our everyday experiences, teaching us that abundance isn't measured by quantity, but by quality. As this perspective grows, we become less attached to external validation or material possessions, finding peace in the abundance that gratitude reveals within. Gratitude enhances our resilience, making it easier to face life's inevitable ups and downs. When we regularly focus on what we appreciate, we build an inner reservoir of positive emotions that we can draw from in challenging times. This inner strength acts as a buffer, helping us bounce back from setbacks without feeling defeated. Gratitude becomes a source of energy that keeps us moving forward with hope and optimism, providing a steady, calming influence that helps us stay grounded even when life feels uncertain. Incorporating gratitude into our lives can be as simple as saying "thank you" more often, whether it's to someone else or ourselves. This simple act of acknowledgement, even for small things, shifts our mindset from taking life for granted to truly appreciating it. Each expression of thanks reinforces a positive outlook, making it easier to see the good in every situation. This practice builds a natural calm, a peace that grows from knowing we are surrounded by gifts, big and small, that bring meaning and joy to our lives. Gratitude, in essence, is an invitation to live fully. When we take a moment to appreciate what we have, we're not just counting blessings, we're embracing life as it is. This openness allows us to experience life's richness without needing it to be anything different. Gratitude becomes a doorway to contentment, guiding us to see that we have everything we need to be at peace. Through this awareness, we cultivate a calm that doesn't depend on conditions, but flourishes within us, resilient and steady in all circumstances. As we deepen our practice of gratitude, it becomes a way of seeing the world. Every encounter, every experience holds something to appreciate, whether it's a lesson, a joy, or even a challenge that helps us grow. This perspective shifts us from a mindset of wanting to one of receiving, from seeking fulfillment outside ourselves to finding it within. Gratitude transforms life into a gift, something to be cherished and valued. In this mindset, we experience a calm joy, a gentle peace that flows through every aspect of our lives, allowing us to meet each moment with grace and acceptance. Through gratitude, we realize that the more we appreciate, the richer our lives become. Each thankfulness is a seed that grows into a deeper peace, a calm contentment that endures, illuminating our lives from within. This practice of gratitude is not only a path to peace, but a celebration of life itself, teaching us that every moment, every breath, holds something worth cherishing. In gratitude, we find our calm, our joy, and our quiet strength. Gratitude has opened our minds to the abundance around us, bringing a peace that helps us appreciate life's richness. Yet, to truly sustain this inner calm, we need a foundation that supports both our minds and bodies. Physical well-being is essential for mental resilience, providing the stability we need to navigate life's ups and downs with clarity and calm. Through balanced nutrition, regular exercise, and restful sleep, we can cultivate a strength that grounds us, creating a lifestyle that naturally supports emotional stability. The food we consume has a profound effect on our mental and emotional well-being. A balanced diet, rich in nutrients, is like fuel that keeps our minds sharp and moods steady. When we eat mindfully, choosing foods that nourish rather than deplete, we support not only our physical health, but also our mental clarity. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, for example, such as salmon and walnuts, have been shown to support brain health and improve mood. Complex carbohydrates like whole grains provide steady energy without the crashes that come from sugary snacks. By choosing foods that provide lasting energy, We create a foundation for calm and focus that helps us manage stress with greater ease. Balanced eating is also about timing. Regular meals throughout the day help stabilize blood sugar levels, which in turn helps prevent mood swings and fatigue. When we skip meals or eat inconsistently, our energy levels become erratic, making it harder to stay centered and focused. Eating at regular intervals keeps our bodies and minds in harmony, providing a steady source of energy that supports both physical and emotional resilience. This consistency in our eating habits brings a sense of structure and routine, which helps us feel grounded and prepared to face life's demands. Hydration is another often overlooked aspect of maintaining mental resilience. Water is essential for every function in the body, including cognitive performance. Even mild dehydration can lead to confusion, fatigue, and moodiness. By staying hydrated throughout the day, we keep our minds sharp and our moods balanced. This simple act of drinking water consistently supports mental clarity, helping us approach challenges with a calm mind and a steady outlook. Hydration is a fundamental part of our physical well-being that directly influences our ability to stay resilient and focused. Exercise plays a crucial role in building mental resilience. Physical activity releases endorphins, natural chemicals in the brain that elevate mood and reduce stress. Regular exercise, whether it's a brisk walk, a yoga session, or a few minutes of stretching, helps us release tension and boosts our energy levels. When we move our bodies, we also improve blood flow to the brain, enhancing concentration and focus. Exercise strengthens our physical endurance, but it also reinforces our mental strength, giving us the stamina to stay calm under pressure and bounce back from challenges. Engaging in exercise also encourages a sense of discipline. Setting aside time each day to move, even when we don't feel like it, builds a habit of commitment that translates into other areas of life. This discipline, rooted in physical activity, strengthens our ability to face difficult moments with patience and determination. Exercise becomes a practice of resilience, teaching us to push through discomfort, whether physical or mental, and emerge stronger on the other side. This resilience becomes a source of calm, a reminder that we have the strength to face whatever comes our way. Sleep is another essential component of a healthy lifestyle that profoundly affects mental resilience. Quality sleep restores both body and mind, allowing us to wake up with a refreshed outlook and a calm spirit. When we prioritize sleep, we give ourselves the best possible start to each day, with the energy and focus needed to handle stress effectively. Sleep helps regulate emotions, making us less prone to irritability and more capable of handling challenges with a clear, steady mind. A well-rested mind is a resilient mind, one that can face life's twists and turns without being easily shaken. Good sleep hygiene, such as creating a relaxing bedtime routine, supports deep, restorative sleep. Turning off screens an hour before bed, creating a peaceful environment, and establishing a regular sleep schedule all contribute to a restful night. These practices help signal to our bodies that it's time to wind down, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. By nurturing a peaceful bedtime routine, we set ourselves up for quality rest that enhances mental clarity and resilience, supporting a calm, balanced mindset that carries into the next day. The connection between physical health and mental resilience extends to mindfulness practices as well. When we engage in activities that calm the mind, such as meditation or deep breathing exercises, we reduce stress levels and promote a sense of well-being that strengthens our emotional stability. These practices bring awareness to the present moment, helping us manage stress without becoming overwhelmed. Mindfulness teaches us to approach life's challenges with patience and acceptance, allowing us to remain calm and composed no matter what we face. This awareness creates a mental resilience that is as enduring as it is gentle, giving us a calm center that remains steady through life's uncertainties. In maintaining a healthy lifestyle, we also cultivate self-compassion. Taking care of our bodies is an act of kindness toward ourselves, a recognition that we deserve to feel strong, rested, and at ease. This self-care builds a sense of self-worth that enhances our resilience, reminding us that we have value and that our well-being matters. When we treat ourselves with compassion, we naturally become more resilient, able to face challenges with a calm, assured mindset that comes from knowing we are taking good care of ourselves. Spending time in nature is another powerful way to support both physical and mental health. Nature has a calming effect on the mind, reducing stress and improving mood. Fresh air, sunlight, and the sounds of nature all contribute to a sense of relaxation that strengthens our resilience. Time spent outdoors reminds us of the beauty and simplicity of life, helping us release tension and reset our minds. Nature offers a sanctuary from the demands of daily life, a place where we can recharge and reconnect with a sense of peace that supports our mental well-being. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle also includes setting boundaries to protect our energy. When we overextend ourselves, we drain both physical and mental resources, making it harder to stay resilient. By learning to say no to commitments that don't align with our priorities, we conserve our energy for what truly matters. This practice creates a balance that allows us to engage fully in the things that support our well-being, from exercise to rest to meaningful connections. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, a way of honoring our need for balance and calm, which in turn strengthens our mental resilience. Social connections, too, play a role in supporting a healthy lifestyle and enhancing resilience. Positive relationships bring joy, support, and a sense of belonging, all of which contribute to mental well-being. When we cultivate relationships that uplift and encourage us, we build a network of support that helps us navigate life's challenges with confidence and calm. Sharing experiences with others, expressing gratitude, and listening with empathy create bonds that provide emotional stability, reminding us that we're not alone. These connections become a source of resilience, reinforcing a calm that comes from knowing we are supported and valued. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle is not about perfection or strict routines. It's about creating a balanced approach that supports our well-being in a sustainable way. By listening to our bodies and responding to our needs with compassion, we build a lifestyle that naturally supports resilience. Flexibility and balance are key. When we allow ourselves to adapt to changing circumstances, we remain steady and resilient, able to stay calm in the face of life's demands. This adaptable approach to health creates a foundation for peace, a calm strength that carries us through whatever life may bring. A healthy lifestyle also encourages a sense of purpose. When we feel physically and mentally strong, we have the energy and motivation to pursue what matters most to us. This sense of purpose adds depth and meaning to our lives, providing a source of resilience that helps us stay focused and calm, even in challenging times. Living with purpose gives us a reason to take care of ourselves, to maintain the physical and mental well-being that allows us to contribute to the world in meaningful ways. This alignment of health and purpose creates a harmony that strengthens our resilience and fills us with a calm, steady joy. In nurturing a healthy lifestyle, we find that our resilience grows naturally. Physical well-being, emotional stability, and mental clarity all support each other, creating a balanced approach to life that enhances our ability to stay calm under pressure. This resilience is not about avoiding challenges, but about building the strength to face them with a peaceful mind and an open heart. Each healthy choice, each moment of self-care adds to this foundation, creating a life that is both resilient and fulfilling. Through this balanced approach, we discover a calm that remains steady through every season of life. With a healthy lifestyle as our foundation, we gain the physical and mental strength to handle life's demands. But true resilience also requires clarity, a clear space within us that isn't clouded by endless obligations and distractions. Simplifying our lives allows us to let go of what's unnecessary, creating room for what truly matters. This simplicity isn't just about cutting down on clutter, it's about focusing our energy on the things that bring meaning, joy, and peace. In choosing to simplify, we shift away from the noise and pressures of modern life, allowing calm to settle in naturally. Living simply means freeing ourselves from the constant pull of doing and accumulating more. Society often encourages us to chase after achievement, to stay busy, and to fill our lives with as many activities and possessions as possible. But this pursuit can weigh us down, leaving little room for rest and reflection. When we decide to simplify, we step off this treadmill, choosing to find satisfaction in less rather than always reaching for more. This choice brings a quiet contentment, a peace that comes from knowing we already have enough and that we can focus on the things that bring real value to our lives. Letting go of non-essential commitments is a powerful way to reduce stress. Many of us feel pressured to say yes to every invitation, project, or responsibility that comes our way, thinking that more involvement means a more fulfilled life. But too many commitments can drain our energy and pull us in multiple directions, making it difficult to stay centered. By choosing commitments thoughtfully, we create a balanced life that leaves room for relaxation and presence. This balance brings a sense of freedom, as we no longer feel burdened by a packed schedule, but instead have the time and space to engage deeply with the activities that truly matter. Simplifying also involves setting boundaries around our time and energy. When we allow our days to be filled with constant demands from others, we can end up feeling stretched thin and overwhelmed. Setting boundaries is a way of protecting our peace, allowing us to prioritize what's most important. This doesn't mean shutting others out. It means honoring our need for rest, focus, and meaningful connections. By saying no to what drains us, we create space for what nourishes us, building a life that supports rather than exhausts us. This intentional choice creates a calm, grounded life that remains steady through the demands of daily living. Another key to simplifying life is decluttering our physical space. Our environment affects our mental state, and when we're surrounded by clutter, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and distracted. By letting go of items that no longer serve a purpose, we create a space that feels open, peaceful, and inviting. This simplicity in our surroundings has a calming effect on the mind, helping us feel lighter and more focused. Each item we release becomes a step toward clarity, allowing us to create an environment that reflects our values and supports our well-being. This sense of order and openness brings a quiet joy, a contentment that comes from knowing that our space is filled only with things that truly add value to our lives. Digital clutter is another source of stress that often goes unnoticed. Our phones, computers, and online lives are filled with notifications, messages, and information that demand our attention. This constant stimulation can drain our energy and make it difficult to focus on what's truly important. Simplifying our digital lives by reducing notifications, organizing files, and limiting screen time helps us reclaim our attention. This practice allows us to engage with technology mindfully, using it as a tool rather than letting it control us. By simplifying our digital world, we free up mental space for reflection, creativity, and connection, fostering a calm, centered mind. Simplification also applies to our goals and priorities. It's easy to feel scattered when we're chasing multiple ambitions at once, each pulling us in a different direction. By focusing on a few core goals that align with our values, we create a sense of purpose and clarity that keeps us grounded. This focus reduces stress by eliminating the pressure to achieve everything at once, allowing us to pursue what matters most with intention and care. This simplicity in our aspirations brings a steady calm, as we're no longer weighed down by endless tasks, but guided by a clear sense of direction. Relationships, too, benefit from simplification. Many of us maintain connections out of habit or obligation, even when they don't bring positivity into our lives. By choosing to invest in relationships that are supportive, respectful, and uplifting, we cultivate a circle of people who add meaning and joy to our lives. Letting go of toxic or draining connections doesn't mean cutting others out harshly. It's about nurturing a space where we can be our true selves without fear or stress. This intentional approach to relationships creates a sense of belonging and peace, a support system that strengthens our resilience and helps us stay calm through life's challenges. Simplifying our lives also means redefining success. In a world that often equates success with wealth, status, or possessions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly fulfills us. When we choose to define success in terms of personal growth, happiness, and meaningful experiences, we free ourselves from the constant pressure to prove ourselves. This redefinition of success brings a calm that isn't tied to external validation, but grounded in an inner sense of purpose. We start to see that a successful life is one that aligns with our values, a life filled with moments of joy, peace, and connection, rather than endless striving. Mindfulness is an essential part of living simply. By being present in each moment, we can fully appreciate what we have rather than constantly seeking more. This mindfulness brings a sense of contentment as we realize that true happiness doesn't come from accumulating things, but from experiencing life as it is. Each moment becomes a source of calm and joy, a chance to engage deeply with the present. Through mindfulness, we learn to savor life's simple pleasures, creating a sense of peace that flows naturally from within. This presence allows us to stay centered, free from the distractions that often pull us away from the here and now. Simplification encourages a slower pace of life. When we're constantly rushing, we miss out on the richness of each experience, moving from task to task without truly engaging with any of them. By slowing down, we give ourselves the time to fully experience each moment, to listen deeply, and to act with care. This unhurried approach reduces stress, allowing us to respond to life thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. A slower pace brings a calm that resonates through every part of our lives, creating a rhythm that supports our well-being and helps us navigate life's demands with grace. In simplifying, we also learn the value of patience. Letting go of the need for instant results allows us to embrace the process, trusting that growth and change take time. This patience brings a calm acceptance, a willingness to allow life to unfold at its own pace. By focusing on steady, meaningful progress rather than rushing toward the next achievement, we build resilience, learning to appreciate each step of the journey. This calm patience becomes a source of strength, a quiet assurance that we are exactly where we need to be. Simplifying our lives requires a willingness to let go of control. The desire to manage every detail often leads to stress, as we become overwhelmed by the need to keep everything perfect. In choosing simplicity, we release this need, accepting that not everything needs to be in our control. This surrender creates space for calm as we learn to trust life's natural flow. By embracing uncertainty, we develop resilience, knowing that we can handle whatever comes our way. This freedom from control brings a lightness, a peace that comes from trusting ourselves and the journey. As we simplify, we also cultivate gratitude for the essentials. When we clear away the excess, we start to see the true value of what remains. Each meal, each friendship, each quiet moment becomes a gift, a source of joy and appreciation. This focus on the essentials grounds us, helping us recognize that a fulfilled life doesn't require endless accumulation, but a deep appreciation for what we already have. This gratitude reinforces our calm, reminding us that peace is found not in what we add to our lives, but in what we cherish. Living simply is an ongoing practice, a series of small choices that align us with our values and priorities. It's not about reaching a perfect state of minimalism, but about continuously choosing what brings peace, purpose, and joy. Each step towards simplicity brings us closer to a life of clarity and calm, a life where we are free to focus on what truly matters. This practice becomes a way of life, a path that leads us to a place of contentment, resilience, and unwavering peace. Through simplicity, we create a space within ourselves that remains calm, steady, and open to the richness of each moment. As we simplify our lives and let go of what no longer serves us, we create space for something truly meaningful, the act of giving. Giving selflessly, without expecting anything in return, opens us up to a peace that is unburdened by unmet expectations. This kind of generosity is freeing. It shifts our focus from what we can gain to what we can share. When we give with a full heart, we experience a deeper joy that doesn't depend on recognition or reciprocation. Instead, it comes from knowing we have added a bit of light to the world. True generosity begins with an open heart. Giving, in its purest form, doesn't look for approval or validation. It is an expression of kindness, a way of connecting with others that values the act itself rather than the response it may bring. When we offer help, support, or compassion without the need for acknowledgement, we experience a profound freedom. There's a joy in knowing that we've contributed positively, regardless of how it's received. This form of giving reflects a confidence and inner peace that says, "I have enough, and I am happy to share." Giving without expectation is not always easy, especially in a world that often measures worth by what we receive in return. But when we let go of this transactional mindset, we start to see that the act of giving itself is enough. Whether it's a kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or a helping hand, giving brings a sense of fulfillment that is unconnected to any outcome. This perspective allows us to give freely, trusting that our efforts have value simply because they stem from a place of genuine care. Selfless giving strengthens our connections with others. When we give without expecting anything back, we create relationships built on trust and sincerity. Others feel the authenticity of our generosity, sensing that we're not looking to receive something in return. This approach fosters a deeper sense of connection, as people are drawn to the warmth and openness that come from genuine acts of kindness. Through selfless giving, we nurture relationships that are resilient and fulfilling, relationships based on mutual respect rather than obligation. By giving selflessly, we also release ourselves from the disappointment that often comes with unmet expectations. When we give with the hope of getting something in return, we set ourselves up for possible frustration. But when our only aim is to share, we free ourselves from this emotional burden. We give because we want to, because it brings us joy and purpose. This shift eliminates the stress of waiting for reciprocation, creating a sense of peace that stems from the simple act of giving, untainted by conditions or expectations. Giving without expectation helps us practice gratitude. When we focus on what we can offer rather than what we can gain, we start to see the abundance in our lives. Each act of generosity reminds us of the resources, skills, and kindness we have to share. This mindset reinforces a sense of appreciation for what we already possess, as we recognize that we have enough to give. Gratitude becomes a natural part of our lives as we shift our focus from receiving to sharing. This gratitude brings a quiet contentment, a sense of peace that comes from knowing we are already whole. This kind of giving also strengthens our inner resilience. When we give without expecting a specific response, we learn to find satisfaction within ourselves rather than relying on external validation. This self-reliance nurtures a calm and stable inner life as we become less affected by others' reactions. We learn to find fulfillment in the act itself, building a foundation of confidence that isn't easily shaken. This resilience allows us to continue giving with a full heart, knowing that our sense of worth isn't tied to anyone else's approval or praise. Selfless giving can take many forms, each with its own unique impact. Sometimes it's a matter of giving time, offering our presence and attention to someone who needs it. At other times, it might be sharing knowledge, skills, or encouragement. No act of generosity is too small, and each one contributes to a larger sense of purpose. By offering whatever we have to share, whether big or small, we create a ripple effect that spreads positivity and kindness beyond what we can see. This ripple effect brings a quiet satisfaction, knowing that our actions have added value to the world. Through selfless giving, we cultivate humility. Giving without expectation teaches us that we are part of something greater than ourselves, connected to others in a way that transcends individual gain. This humility grounds us, helping us approach life with a sense of wonder and openness. We begin to see each act of generosity as a shared experience, something that binds us to others and reminds us of our shared humanity. This humility fosters a deep sense of peace, as we recognize that our worth is not measured by what we receive, but by the love and kindness we extend to others. Selfless giving is also a path to personal growth. Each time we give without expectation, we step outside the self-centered tendencies that often dominate our thoughts. This shift opens our minds to a broader perspective, allowing us to see the world through the eyes of others. We start to understand the challenges, joys, and needs of those around us, gaining insights that deepen our empathy. This growth nurtures a sense of compassion, helping us approach others with understanding and kindness. Compassion, in turn, enriches our lives, filling us with a peace that comes from genuinely caring for the well-being of others. There's a unique joy that comes from giving without expecting recognition. This joy is different from the fleeting pleasure of receiving something in return. It's a lasting contentment that comes from knowing we have done something meaningful. Selfless giving creates a joy that is rooted in purpose rather than outcome, a joy that sustains us even when times are difficult. This joy adds depth to our lives, a quiet happiness that doesn't rely on external circumstances but is grounded in the simple act of kindness. By giving freely, we find a lasting source of happiness, a happiness that enriches our lives and brings calm to our hearts. Selfless giving also encourages mindfulness. When we give with the sole purpose of helping, we become fully present in the moment. This presence allows us to connect deeply with the act itself, to experience the joy and peace that come from focusing on another's well-being. This mindfulness brings a calm focus as we immerse ourselves in the act of giving without distractions or concerns about outcomes. Through this focus, we discover a new level of engagement with life, one that brings clarity and calm to each moment. In giving freely, we also inspire others to do the same. Acts of kindness have a way of spreading as people are moved to share the same warmth and generosity they've received. Our selfless acts create a ripple effect, encouraging others to embrace the same spirit of giving. This cycle of generosity strengthens communities, building a world where kindness is valued and shared openly. This impact brings a deep sense of satisfaction, a peace that comes from knowing our actions have contributed to a positive change in the world. By giving without expectation, we become part of something greater, part of a movement that adds light and love to the lives of others. Through selfless giving, we ultimately find freedom. When we let go of the need for approval or reciprocation, we release ourselves from the limitations of conditional love. This freedom allows us to give purely, to experience the true joy of generosity without any hidden motives. This liberation brings a calm strength, a sense of peace that comes from knowing we have enough to give freely and that our happiness is not dependent on anyone else's response. This independence adds a new dimension to our lives, one that is filled with joy, resilience, and a deep sense of fulfillment. In the end, selfless giving transforms us. It opens our hearts, enriches our connections, and brings us closer to a life filled with peace and purpose. By giving without expectation, we learn to live from a place of abundance rather than scarcity, creating a life that is rooted in joy and contentment. Each act of generosity adds to this abundance, a quiet reservoir of peace that grows with each moment of kindness. Through this practice, we find that the true gift of giving is not what we receive, but the peace and fulfillment it brings into our lives. In giving selflessly, we find a richness that comes from within, a calm that emerges from focusing outward without the need for return. This calm leads us naturally to one of life's most profound practices, living fully in the present moment. Being present allows us to experience life in its true form, free from the shadows of past regrets or future anxieties. It is here, in this very moment, that life unfolds. By grounding ourselves in the present, we open up to a peace and joy that exists only here and now, untouched by what was or what could be. Living in the present is about awareness. It's the quiet attentiveness to everything around us, the feel of the air, the sounds in the distance, the simple act of breathing. When we focus our attention on what's happening right here, we break free from the habits of the mind that often pull us into past memories or future concerns. This focus brings clarity, revealing the beauty in even the smallest details of life. It's like opening a door to a space where time slows down, allowing us to savor each moment for what it truly is. The practice of being present encourages us to let go of judgment. Often, our minds are filled with thoughts about what should or shouldn't be, colored by past experiences or future expectations. By releasing these judgments, we allow ourselves to accept the present as it is. This acceptance is freeing. It takes away the need to control everything, replacing it with a calm openness. We learn to simply observe our surroundings, our thoughts, and our emotions without getting attached to them. This detachment brings a peace that grows as we become more comfortable with allowing life to unfold naturally. Focusing on the present also allows us to fully experience our emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Instead of pushing away difficult feelings or clinging to positive ones, we learn to sit with whatever arises. This approach teaches us that emotions are temporary, like waves that come and go. By staying present, We can experience each emotion without letting it dominate us, allowing it to pass naturally. This presence brings a calm resilience, as we start to see that no emotion, no matter how strong, lasts forever. We become observers of our own experience, steady and grounded in the knowledge that we are more than our passing moods. Living in the present moment also enhances our relationships. When we are fully engaged with those around us, we listen more deeply, respond more genuinely, and connect more sincerely. Being present means giving others our full attention, free from the distractions of past grievances or future concerns. This attentiveness fosters trust, respect, and a sense of connection that strengthens our bonds. By being there for others in each moment, we create relationships that are rooted in genuine understanding and appreciation, relationships that bring a lasting sense of joy and fulfillment. By focusing on the present, we also cultivate gratitude. When we pay attention to what's here and now, we start to notice the abundance in our lives, the things we often overlook in our rush from one moment to the next. This awareness brings a natural appreciation for what we have, a gratitude that grows as we realize that each moment, no matter how simple, has its own beauty. This gratitude fills us with a quiet contentment, a peace that doesn't rely on external circumstances, but arises from a deep recognition of the richness already present in our lives. Being present invites us to slow down. In a world that often values speed and efficiency, taking the time to experience each moment can feel like a radical act. But in slowing down, we allow ourselves to truly live, to savor each experience fully. This slower pace reduces stress, giving us the space to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. By taking life one moment at a time, we create a calm rhythm that supports our well-being, a pace that allows us to engage deeply with whatever we're doing, whether it's work, leisure, or time spent with loved ones. The practice of being present also nurtures patience. When we're focused on the here and now, we let go of the rush to reach the next thing, the next achievement, or the next goal. This patience brings a calm acceptance of life's natural timing, a trust that things will unfold as they are meant to. By staying grounded in each moment, we develop a resilience that helps us handle challenges with a steady heart. This patience becomes a source of peace, a reminder that we don't need to push or force life to move at our pace, but can instead flow with its natural rhythm. Living in the present moment enhances our creativity. When we are fully engaged in the here and now, our minds become open and receptive, free from the noise of past worries or future fears. This openness allows ideas to arise naturally, bringing a sense of inspiration and innovation that is fueled by the freedom of being present. Creativity flourishes in this space of awareness as we see things from fresh perspectives and explore new possibilities. This creative energy brings a joy and vitality to our lives, enriching our experiences and deepening our appreciation for life's endless potential. Through presence, we also develop a sense of self-acceptance. By focusing on each moment, we begin to see ourselves without the filters of past mistakes or future expectations. We learn to embrace who we are right now, with all our strengths and imperfections. This acceptance creates a foundation of peace, as we no longer feel the need to become something or someone else. Living in the present allows us to be comfortable in our own skin, fostering a calm confidence that comes from knowing that we are enough just as we are. The present moment is where true joy resides. Unlike fleeting pleasures that come and go, joy found in the present is deep and lasting. It's a quiet happiness that emerges when we are fully engaged with life, when we let go of the past and stop reaching for the future. This joy isn't dependent on circumstances. It's a state of being that arises naturally when we live with awareness. By embracing each moment, we create a life that is rich in joy, a life where happiness isn't something we chase, but something we live. Being present also deepens our connection with nature. When we take the time to fully experience the natural world around us, the warmth of the sun, the sound of leaves rustling, the sight of a clear sky, we find a peace that reminds us of our connection to all living things. Nature invites us to be still, to observe without judgment, to simply be. This connection to the earth grounds us, giving us a sense of belonging and calm that strengthens our resilience. Nature teaches us that there is a time for everything, and that life's cycles, like our own, are best experienced one moment at a time. Living in the present moment helps us appreciate the value of simplicity. By focusing on what's directly in front of us, we realize that we don't need more to feel fulfilled. Each moment, when fully experienced, is complete in itself, bringing a sense of contentment that is free from the desire for more. This simplicity brings a calm satisfaction, a peace that comes from knowing that we already have everything we need to be happy. This understanding frees us from the constant pursuit of more, allowing us to rest in the fullness of each moment. Practicing presence also teaches us resilience. When we stay grounded in the here and now, we learn to face life's challenges without getting lost in what has been or what might be. This resilience grows as we experience each moment fully, trusting that we have the strength to handle whatever arises. By focusing on what we can do right now, we build a calm inner strength that helps us navigate life's uncertainties with confidence and grace. In living fully in the present, we find freedom from the limitations of the past and the anxieties of the future. This freedom brings a profound peace, a peace that arises from knowing that we are exactly where we need to be. By embracing each moment as it comes, we let go of the need to control or predict, allowing life to unfold in its own beautiful way. This surrender brings a deep calm, a calm that remains steady regardless of external circumstances. Through presence, we discover a life that is vibrant, fulfilling, and rich with meaning. As we embrace the present moment, we realize that it is here and only here that true peace exists. Living fully in the present moment brings a sense of peace that allows us to experience life as it unfolds, free from the pull of past regrets or future worries. Yet, to sustain this presence, we need to practice one of life's most challenging but liberating acts, letting go of what we cannot control. This practice of release teaches us to focus on what lies within our power, while accepting that many aspects of life are simply beyond our influence. By releasing attachment to specific outcomes, we create a space where calm, resilience, and freedom flourish. Letting go of control begins with acceptance. Life is full of uncertainties, situations that may or may not go as planned. Instead of fighting these unknowns, acceptance allows us to acknowledge that while we can guide our actions, we cannot determine every result. This shift in perspective brings a profound sense of relief, as we no longer feel the need to micromanage every detail. Acceptance teaches us that our peace does not depend on perfect outcomes. It depends on our ability to respond calmly to whatever happens. When we release control, we experience freedom from the constant stress of trying to predict and manipulate the future. The desire to control often stems from a fear of uncertainty, a worry about things going wrong. But by letting go, we open ourselves to the natural flow of life, a flow that often brings solutions and opportunities we hadn't anticipated. This trust in life's unfolding frees us from the weight of overthinking, allowing us to live with a lighter heart and an open mind. Focusing on what we can control shifts our energy from worrying about external factors to taking meaningful action. Our thoughts, our choices, our reactions, these are within our control. By directing our energy toward these areas, we empower ourselves to make positive changes without being burdened by what lies beyond our reach. This focus on personal agency brings a sense of calm as we realize that our efforts are enough, regardless of the outcome. Each action becomes a step forward, grounded in confidence rather than anxiety. Letting go of control also helps us manage our expectations. When we place too much emphasis on specific results, we set ourselves up for disappointment if things don't go as planned. By embracing flexibility, we learn to approach each situation with an open mind, free from rigid expectations. This openness allows us to adapt and respond gracefully, knowing that our worth isn't tied to any single outcome. By managing our expectations, we protect our peace, allowing ourselves to remain steady regardless of how circumstances unfold. In releasing control, we learn to trust ourselves. We start to see that we have the strength to handle whatever comes our way, even if it's unexpected. This self-trust brings a deep sense of security, as we know that we are capable of responding to life's challenges with wisdom and resilience. By letting go of the need to control every detail, we build confidence in our ability to adapt, finding calm in the knowledge that we can face life's uncertainties without fear. This trust in ourselves becomes a foundation of peace, a source of strength that remains steady through life's unpredictabilities. Letting go also deepens our relationships. When we stop trying to control others or the dynamics between us, we create space for genuine connection. This freedom allows us to see people as they are, rather than who we want them to be. In this openness, our relationships become more authentic, grounded in acceptance rather than expectations. By letting others be themselves, we foster respect and understanding, nurturing bonds that bring a calm joy and mutual support. This approach to relationships frees us from the frustrations that arise when we try to change or control others, replacing them with a peaceful acceptance of each person's unique journey. Releasing attachment to outcomes encourages humility. By recognizing that we don't have control over everything, we acknowledge that we are part of something larger, something beyond our individual will. This humility connects us to the broader flow of life, helping us see our place within a vast and interconnected world. This perspective brings a quiet peace, a reminder that while we play a role in our lives, we don't need to carry the weight of controlling everything around us. By embracing this humility, we find comfort in the idea that some things are simply meant to unfold in their own way, without our interference. When we let go of what we can't control, we create space for gratitude. By focusing on what we can influence, we start to appreciate the aspects of life that are already within our grasp. This gratitude shifts our attention from lack to abundance, helping us see the many gifts and opportunities we already possess. Letting go of control reveals the fullness of the present, filling us with a sense of appreciation for the here and now. This gratitude grounds us, fostering a calm contentment that doesn't rely on external factors, but is rooted in a deep sense of appreciation. The practice of letting go also teaches resilience. Life rarely goes exactly as planned, and by accepting this, we build a strength that allows us to move forward, regardless of obstacles. Each time we let go, we reinforce our ability to bounce back, to adapt, and to continue with a steady heart. This resilience grows over time, becoming a source of calm confidence that remains, even when circumstances are uncertain. By letting go, we develop a mindset that is prepared for change, grounded in the understanding that our peace comes from within, not from the outcomes we can't control. Letting go invites mindfulness. When we release our grip on the future, we bring our focus back to the present. This mindfulness allows us to experience each moment fully, free from the constant pull of anticipation or worry. By staying present, we engage more deeply with life, finding a sense of peace in the simplicity of the here and now. This awareness helps us see that each moment is complete in itself, that we don't need to reach for something more to feel whole. Through mindfulness, we discover that the present is enough, a place of calm that exists only when we let go of the need for control. Letting go teaches us patience. In choosing not to force outcomes, we learn to trust the timing of life, to allow things to unfold at their own pace. This patience brings a calm acceptance, a willingness to wait without frustration or anxiety. By letting go of urgency, we create a life that flows naturally, free from the stress of trying to rush everything to completion. This patience becomes a source of strength, helping us face life's ebbs and flows with a steady heart, knowing that things will come together in their own time. Releasing control brings a deep sense of freedom. When we no longer feel responsible for everything that happens around us, we are free to live more lightly, more joyfully. This freedom allows us to embrace life's surprises, to adapt to change with an open mind. By letting go, we discover a peace that is grounded in trust rather than certainty, a peace that allows us to move through life without being weighed down by the need for perfect outcomes. This freedom becomes a way of life, a path to living fully and joyfully in each moment. Letting go of control also fosters compassion. When we stop trying to control others, we start to understand and accept them as they are. This understanding brings empathy, a kindness that arises from recognizing our shared humanity. Compassion becomes a natural part of our lives, a way of connecting without judgment. This compassion enriches our relationships, creating bonds that are built on respect and acceptance. By letting go, we create a space for others to be themselves, a space where kindness and understanding thrive. In releasing control, we embrace the beauty of impermanence. Life is constantly changing, and by letting go, we allow ourselves to flow with these changes rather than resist them. This acceptance of impermanence brings a calm resilience, a peace that comes from understanding that everything is temporary, and that's okay. By embracing change, we free ourselves from the need to hold on to things, people, or situations. This freedom allows us to experience life fully, to savor each moment without clinging to it. Through this understanding, we find a sense of liberation, a peace that remains steady amidst the shifting tides of life. Ultimately, letting go of what we can't control teaches us to live with intention. By focusing on what is within our power, we create a life that aligns with our values, a life filled with purpose and clarity. This intentionality brings a quiet strength, a sense of calm that comes from knowing that we are living authentically, guided by what truly matters. Letting go becomes a pathway to a meaningful life, a life where we are free to be present, to act with love, and to experience each moment with an open heart. Through the practice of letting go, we discover a peace that is resilient, a calm that does not waver in the face of life's uncertainties. By releasing the need for control, we find the freedom to live fully, to embrace each moment with grace and gratitude. This peace is not dependent on outcomes, but is grounded in a trust that life will unfold as it is meant to. In letting go, we learn to live in harmony with ourselves and the world around us, discovering a calm strength that guides us through all of life's seasons. Releasing control has shown us the peace that comes from letting go, a calm that frees us to live fully and without the weight of constant worry. Now, there is a natural next step that can deepen this peace: a daily practice that helps quiet the mind and ease stress. Meditation. By dedicating just a few minutes each day to meditation, we nurture a calm center within ourselves, a place we can return to regardless of what life brings. Meditation is a tool that not only supports our well-being, but also strengthens our ability to stay grounded and resilient. Meditation begins with the simple act of sitting still. In a world full of movement, taking a moment to be still is a powerful choice. This stillness creates a space where we can step back from the rush of daily thoughts, allowing our minds to rest and reset. As we sit quietly, we start to notice the natural rhythm of our breath, the gentle rise and fall that brings us back to the present. This focus on the breath grounds us, helping us let go of mental clutter and experience a calm awareness that flows from within. Meditation is also a practice of mindfulness. By paying attention to the present moment without judgment, we train ourselves to observe our thoughts and emotions rather than becoming attached to them. This shift in perspective is liberating, as it helps us recognize that we are not our thoughts, we are the awareness behind them. This mindfulness teaches us to see each thought as a passing wave, something that comes and goes. By cultivating this detachment, we free ourselves from the need to analyze or control every thought, creating a peaceful space in our minds where calm can flourish. Through meditation, we learn to cultivate patience. Sitting quietly and focusing on our breath may sound simple, but it requires patience to keep returning to the present each time our minds wander. This patience extends beyond meditation, helping us approach life's challenges with a calm acceptance rather than frustration. By practicing patience, we build resilience, learning to face situations without reacting impulsively. This patience becomes a foundation of peace, a steady calm that helps us navigate life's ups and downs with grace and ease. Meditation also nurtures self-awareness. As we sit in silence, we become more attuned to our inner world, noticing patterns in our thoughts and emotions. This awareness allows us to understand ourselves on a deeper level, to see what drives our reactions and decisions. With time, this self-awareness becomes a source of empowerment as we learn to make choices that align with our true values rather than acting out of habit or impulse. This alignment brings a sense of clarity and purpose, a calm confidence that arises from knowing ourselves more fully. In dedicating time to meditation, we cultivate a sense of gratitude. By focusing on the present moment, we start to appreciate the simple gift of being alive, of breathing, of simply being here. This gratitude fills us with a quiet contentment, a recognition that we have enough in this moment. This sense of abundance reduces stress, as we realize that peace and fulfillment are not dependent on external circumstances, but can be found within. This gratitude, fostered through meditation, becomes a lasting source of joy and calm, a gentle reminder that we are already complete. Meditation also teaches us to let go of perfection. In meditation, there is no right or wrong way to experience each moment. There is only the practice of being present. This approach frees us from the pressure to achieve a perfect state of calm or clarity. Instead, we learn to accept each session as it is, knowing that the value lies in the practice itself. This release of perfectionism brings a sense of peace, a calm acceptance that we carry into our daily lives. By letting go of the need to get everything right, we open ourselves to experience life with openness and ease. Through meditation, we develop resilience. Each time we sit in silence, we strengthen our ability to face challenges without becoming overwhelmed. Meditation teaches us that we can handle discomfort, that we can sit with difficult emotions and let them pass without reacting. This resilience grows over time, becoming a source of inner strength that helps us face life's uncertainties with calm and courage. By building this resilience, we create a foundation of peace that remains steady, even when life feels unpredictable. Meditation enhances our focus. By practicing concentration on the breath or a specific point of awareness, we train our minds to stay present. This focus improves our ability to concentrate on tasks and reduces mental fatigue. By strengthening our focus, we become more productive and less scattered, able to engage deeply with whatever we're doing. This calm focus brings a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment, as we are able to give our full attention to each moment, experiencing life more fully and richly. Meditation also supports emotional regulation. By observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment, we learn to respond rather than react. This skill helps us handle stress more effectively, as we become less likely to be swept away by strong emotions. Meditation teaches us to pause, to create a space between stimulus and response, allowing us to choose our actions with clarity. This practice of response over reaction brings a deep calm, a steady composure that helps us navigate emotional situations with wisdom and empathy. In dedicating time to meditation, we nurture compassion. As we become more aware of our own thoughts and struggles, we naturally develop a sense of empathy for others. This compassion extends beyond ourselves, helping us connect with those around us in a meaningful way. Meditation opens our hearts, allowing us to approach others with kindness and understanding. This compassion enriches our relationships, creating bonds that are supportive and fulfilling. Through meditation, we learn that peace is not just a personal experience, it is something we share with the world. Meditation also brings a sense of unity with life. As we sit in silence, we become aware of the interconnectedness of all things, a sense that we are part of something greater than ourselves. This awareness brings a profound peace, a reminder that we are not alone, but connected to the world around us. This sense of unity fills us with a calm acceptance, a trust that we are supported by the natural flow of life. By embracing this connection, we find a peace that is as vast as it is grounding, a peace that helps us feel at home within ourselves and the world. In meditation, we experience moments of stillness that reveal the beauty of simplicity. By letting go of distractions, we realize that peace is not something we need to chase or create. It is something we can access in each moment of presence. This simplicity brings a quiet joy, a contentment that arises from experiencing life without the constant need for stimulation or change. Through meditation, we learn to appreciate the richness of each moment, discovering that simplicity is a path to profound peace. The daily practice of meditation also brings consistency to our lives. By setting aside time each day to sit in silence, we create a routine that supports our well-being. This commitment brings a sense of discipline, a steady foundation that helps us stay grounded through life's changes. This consistency reinforces our inner calm, as we know we can always return to this practice, no matter what challenges we face. This routine becomes a source of stability, a reminder that we have the tools to maintain peace within ourselves. Through meditation, we learn to embrace impermanence. As we observe our thoughts and emotions, we see that they are constantly changing, just like everything in life. This awareness teaches us to let go, to allow things to come and go without clinging. By accepting impermanence, we find a peace that is rooted in the present rather than in the need for permanence. This understanding helps us approach life's transitions with calm and grace, knowing that each moment is part of a larger flow that we can trust. Meditation also enhances our creativity. By quieting the mind, we create a space where new ideas and insights can emerge naturally. This openness to inspiration brings a sense of joy and possibility as we start to see life with fresh eyes. This creativity enriches our lives, adding depth and color to our experiences. By cultivating a quiet mind, we create a foundation for creativity that supports both our personal growth and our ability to contribute meaningfully to the world. In dedicating time to meditation, we discover a lasting source of inner peace. Each session brings us closer to a calm that doesn't rely on external circumstances, but is rooted in the simple act of being present. This peace becomes a part of who we are, a steady calm that guides us through life with confidence and ease. Through meditation, we learn that true peace is not something we need to seek. It is something we can cultivate within ourselves, one breath at a time. Meditation is more than a practice. It is a way of living that brings clarity, resilience, and joy. By dedicating a few minutes each day to this practice, we create a life that is grounded in calm and open to the richness of each moment. Through meditation, we find a peace that sustains us, a peace that fills our lives with purpose, compassion, and a deep sense of connection to all that is. Meditation has guided us toward a steady, lasting peace, helping us to quiet our minds and connect with an inner calm. As we continue to nurture this state of being, another practice becomes essential: avoiding negative judgments and comparisons. Releasing the urge to judge or compare brings a freedom from dissatisfaction and self-doubt, clearing a path toward genuine contentment. Letting go of criticism, both of ourselves and others, helps us focus on personal growth and acceptance, creating a life where peace and appreciation flourish. The tendency to judge or compare is deeply ingrained, often arising without our even noticing it. We look around, observing how others are living, achieving, or behaving, and these observations can quickly turn into comparisons that affect our self-worth. When we let go of these judgments, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress, choosing instead to focus on our own journey. This shift helps us recognize that everyone's path is unique, that each of us is shaped by our experiences, talents, and goals. By embracing this understanding, we foster a sense of calm, knowing that we are complete as we are, without needing to measure ourselves against anyone else. Avoiding negative judgments of others is a powerful way to cultivate inner peace. When we judge, we place unnecessary expectations on others, often based on our own perspectives or preferences. This judgment creates distance, placing a barrier between ourselves and others, and it prevents us from experiencing genuine connection. By choosing understanding over judgment, we open ourselves to acceptance, seeing people as they are without the need to fit them into our personal ideals. This acceptance fosters compassion, allowing us to relate to others with kindness and empathy. This compassionate approach enriches our relationships, creating bonds built on respect rather than criticism. Releasing judgment of others also reflects a commitment to personal growth. When we avoid judging, we create space to focus on our own development rather than spending energy analyzing the actions of others. This inward focus helps us stay aligned with our values and goals, cultivating a sense of self-awareness that promotes growth and resilience. By focusing on our own progress rather than comparing ourselves to others, we find a lasting motivation that isn't based on external validation, but on genuine fulfillment. This perspective shift brings a quiet contentment, a sense of peace that arises from knowing that we are growing at our own pace, in our own way. Letting go of comparisons with others nurtures self-acceptance. Often, we look at the lives of those around us and feel inadequate if we perceive them as more successful or accomplished. But these comparisons ignore the individuality of our paths, leading to feelings of inferiority or jealousy. By choosing to value our own experiences without measuring them against others, we cultivate a self-compassion that is free from the weight of comparison. This self-acceptance fosters a deep peace, a calm assurance that our worth isn't determined by external achievements or appearances, but by our own values and choices. Avoiding comparisons also strengthens our resilience. When we focus on our own path, we learn to face challenges without being discouraged by others' successes or failures. This resilience grows as we start to see our unique strengths and weaknesses, accepting them as part of our journey rather than flaws to be fixed. This acceptance helps us bounce back from setbacks, knowing that our worth is not defined by a single moment or accomplishment, but by the entirety of our lives. This resilience becomes a source of calm confidence, a strength that keeps us steady even in difficult times. Letting go of judgment and comparison also enhances our ability to appreciate the present. When we stop measuring ourselves against others, we free our minds from the constant pull of better or more. This freedom brings us back to the present, where we can fully experience life as it is, without feeling the need to compete or prove ourselves. This presence fills us with gratitude for our own journey, helping us recognize the beauty and richness of each moment. This focus on the here and now brings a sense of peace, a gentle satisfaction that comes from knowing that we are enough, just as we are. By refraining from judgment, we also develop a sense of humility. Judging others often comes from a place of superiority, a belief that we know what is best or right. But when we let go of this need, we embrace humility, recognizing that each person has their own experiences and perspectives that are equally valid. This humility fosters respect for others, allowing us to approach each interaction with an open mind and heart. This respect creates a peaceful atmosphere in our relationships, a calm trust that strengthens our connections with those around us. Letting go of judgments of ourselves is equally important. We are often our own harshest critics, setting unrealistic standards and then feeling frustrated when we fall short. By choosing self-compassion over criticism, we create a space where growth is encouraged rather than forced. This self-compassion helps us recognize our worth without the need to constantly improve or change. It brings a calm contentment, a sense of peace that arises from accepting ourselves fully, flaws and all. This self-acceptance is a powerful tool for building resilience, as it reminds us that we are deserving of kindness from both ourselves and others. When we release comparisons, we become more supportive of others. Instead of seeing other people's successes as a reflection of our own shortcomings, we start to celebrate their achievements with genuine happiness. This shift brings a joy that is free from envy or competition, a joy that enhances our own well-being. By supporting others without comparing ourselves, we create relationships that are built on encouragement and shared happiness. This supportiveness enriches our lives, fostering a sense of community and connection that brings a deep, lasting peace. Avoiding judgment helps us stay focused on what truly matters. When we stop wasting energy on criticizing or comparing, we have more time to pursue what is meaningful to us. This focus helps us align our actions with our values, creating a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. By prioritizing our own growth and well-being over external appearances, we find a peace that is rooted in purpose rather than perception. This purposeful living brings a steady calm, a quiet confidence that comes from knowing that we are living in accordance with our deepest values. Letting go of judgment and comparison also promotes mental clarity. The constant habit of comparing ourselves or judging others creates mental clutter, filling our minds with unnecessary concerns and distractions. By releasing these habits, we clear space in our minds for creativity, focus, and peace. This clarity enhances our ability to think and act with intention, helping us approach life with a calm and balanced perspective. This mental freedom brings a sense of ease, a lightness that allows us to experience life more fully and joyfully. When we avoid negative judgments, we cultivate empathy. By choosing to see others without criticism, we become more understanding and compassionate. This empathy helps us connect with others on a deeper level, creating relationships that are based on acceptance rather than expectation. This understanding brings a calm kindness, a warmth that enriches our interactions and fosters a sense of belonging. Empathy, nurtured by a lack of judgment, brings peace not only to our relationships, but also to our own hearts, as we experience the joy of connecting with others authentically. Choosing to avoid judgment teaches us patience. Often we judge others or ourselves because we expect immediate perfection. But life is a journey, and growth takes time. By embracing patience, we allow ourselves and others the space to grow at a natural pace, free from the pressure of meeting constant expectations. This patience brings a calm resilience, a gentle acceptance that helps us navigate life with ease. By letting go of the need for instant results, we find peace in the process, a steady calm that comes from trusting that growth will happen in its own time. Avoiding judgment allows us to focus on self-improvement without feeling threatened by others' achievements. Instead of feeling inferior, we can look at others' successes as inspiration. This approach brings a healthy motivation, a sense of encouragement rather than competition. By learning from others instead of comparing, we enrich our own lives, gaining insights and perspectives that support our growth. This shift creates a calm satisfaction, a sense of joy in knowing that we can grow without needing to surpass anyone else. When we release judgments, we experience a sense of unity with others. The act of judging often creates separation, a barrier between ourselves and those we perceive as different. But by letting go of judgment, we start to see the common humanity in everyone. This sense of unity brings a deep peace, a feeling of connection that transcends individual differences. We start to recognize that we are all on our own journeys, each facing our own challenges. This understanding brings a calm compassion, a warmth that fills us with a sense of belonging. In letting go of judgment and comparison, we create a life that is free from the stress of constant evaluation. This freedom allows us to experience each moment with openness, to approach life with curiosity rather than critique. This open-mindedness enriches our experiences, bringing a sense of wonder that keeps us engaged and fulfilled. By choosing to live without judgment, we find a peace that is rooted in acceptance, a calm that allows us to appreciate life as it is, without the need to constantly measure or compare. Through the practice of avoiding negative judgments and comparisons, we cultivate a peace that strengthens us, a calm that remains steady through life's challenges. By choosing acceptance over criticism, we create a life filled with kindness, compassion, and gratitude. This peace brings a lasting contentment, a deep satisfaction that arises from knowing that we are complete just as we are. By releasing judgments and comparisons, we unlock a calm that allows us to embrace life with compassion and understanding. Yet, to maintain this inner peace, we need a foundation that supports it fully, one rooted in meeting our basic needs. When our essential needs are cared for, we create a stable environment that nurtures our emotional and mental well-being. Without this foundation, even the best intentions can falter under the pressures of stress and unmet needs. Ensuring that our physical and emotional requirements are fulfilled lays the groundwork for a calm, resilient mind that can face life's challenges with steady confidence. Meeting our basic needs begins with the essentials of physical health. nutrition, rest, and hydration. Each of these elements plays a vital role in maintaining mental clarity and emotional stability. A balanced diet fuels not only the body, but also the mind, providing the energy and nutrients needed to think clearly, stay focused, and feel emotionally balanced. When we take the time to eat well, we're actively choosing to care for ourselves in a way that promotes peace and resilience. Each meal becomes a reminder of this commitment to ourselves, strengthening the foundation upon which our mental calm rests. Quality sleep is another cornerstone of meeting our basic needs. Rest is essential for the brain to process emotions, consolidate memories, and recharge for the day ahead. Without adequate sleep, it becomes difficult to manage stress or make thoughtful decisions, as fatigue clouds our minds and weakens our resilience. By prioritizing sleep, we ensure that we wake up each day with a clear mind and a refreshed perspective. This focus on rest is a form of self-care that reinforces our emotional stability, providing a calm foundation that supports all other aspects of our lives. Hydration, though often overlooked, is equally important for mental well-being. Dehydration can lead to irritability, confusion, and reduced concentration, all of which disrupt our peace of mind. By staying hydrated, we nourish our bodies and minds, keeping them in a state that promotes calm and focus. Drinking water regularly is a simple but powerful way to support our foundational needs, ensuring that we're physically prepared to handle whatever each day may bring. This attention to hydration becomes part of a larger practice of self-care, a quiet but essential habit that reinforces our commitment to well-being. Physical movement is another key aspect of meeting our basic needs. Exercise releases endorphins, which improve mood and reduce stress, creating a sense of inner calm. Regular movement, whether through walking, stretching, or more intense exercise, also helps release tension from the body, promoting relaxation and reducing anxiety. By prioritizing physical activity, we support both our physical health and our mental resilience. This commitment to movement strengthens our ability to face challenges with a steady mind and a calm heart, as it reinforces the connection between our bodies and our overall well-being. Creating a safe and comfortable environment is also essential in meeting our foundational needs. Our surroundings affect our mood and mental clarity, and a chaotic or uncomfortable space can contribute to stress. By organizing our environment and making it a place of comfort and peace, we create a supportive atmosphere that nurtures calm. This may involve decluttering, adding elements that bring joy, or arranging spaces in a way that promotes relaxation. A peaceful environment provides a refuge from the outside world, a place where we can recharge and find tranquility amidst life's demands. Beyond physical needs, emotional needs play a critical role in our overall well-being. Feeling connected, valued, and supported are fundamental aspects of emotional health. Positive relationships with family, friends, and community provide us with a sense of belonging and security. By nurturing these connections, we create a support system that reinforces our emotional stability. This network of support provides a buffer against stress, reminding us that we're not alone in facing life's challenges. Investing time and energy in meaningful relationships strengthens our foundation, bringing us a calm rooted in connection and understanding. Another key emotional need is the sense of purpose and meaning. When we feel that our lives have direction, that our actions contribute to something greater, we experience a deep fulfillment that goes beyond temporary happiness. This sense of purpose is essential for long-term peace, as it provides motivation and resilience in times of difficulty. By identifying what brings us purpose, whether through work, hobbies, or relationships, we create a guiding light that keeps us focused and calm, even when faced with challenges. This purpose-driven approach to life gives us a sense of grounding, a calm confidence that we are on a path that aligns with our values. Financial stability is also an important aspect of meeting basic needs. While wealth alone doesn't guarantee happiness, financial security can reduce stress by providing a sense of stability and control over our lives. By managing finances responsibly, we reduce the worry associated with uncertainty, freeing our minds to focus on what truly matters. This stability doesn't require wealth. It simply requires a mindful approach to spending, saving, and planning. Financial peace of mind supports our overall well-being, providing a secure base from which we can engage with life fully, without the constant distraction of financial concerns. Setting boundaries is another essential part of meeting our needs. When we establish clear limits with others, we protect our time, energy, and mental space, ensuring that we're not overwhelmed by external demands. These boundaries help us prioritize self-care, giving us the freedom to say no to activities or relationships that drain us. By respecting our own limits, we reinforce our commitment to well-being, creating a stable foundation that supports calm and resilience. Boundaries are a form of self-respect, a reminder that our needs are valid and deserving of attention. Intellectual stimulation is also a fundamental need, as it keeps our minds engaged, curious, and motivated. By pursuing interests, learning new skills, or exploring ideas, we nourish our intellectual well-being. This stimulation provides a sense of purpose and accomplishment, adding depth and variety to our lives. Engaging in activities that challenge and inspire us brings a sense of fulfillment that supports our mental resilience. This commitment to growth brings a lasting calm, a peace that comes from knowing that we are continually expanding our understanding and abilities. Spiritual well-being is another important aspect of meeting our foundational needs. Whether through religious practices, meditation, or a connection with nature, spirituality provides a sense of inner peace and purpose. This connection with something greater than ourselves brings comfort and perspective, helping us navigate life's challenges with a calm heart. Spirituality reminds us of our place in the larger world, offering a sense of peace that transcends everyday concerns. By nurturing our spiritual health, we create a foundation that supports resilience, helping us approach life with a calm and open mind. Meeting our basic needs also includes recognizing the need for rest and relaxation beyond sleep. Taking breaks, engaging in hobbies, or spending time in nature provides us with a chance to recharge, to step away from the pressures of daily life. This intentional rest supports our mental clarity and emotional balance, allowing us to return to our responsibilities with renewed energy. Prioritizing rest is an essential part of self-care, a reminder that relaxation is not a luxury, but a necessity for a calm, fulfilling life. Developing self-compassion is another way to meet our emotional needs. By treating ourselves with kindness, we create a foundation of self-acceptance that supports resilience. This compassion allows us to approach challenges with patience, knowing that we are worthy of understanding and forgiveness. Self-compassion brings a deep sense of peace, as it frees us from the harsh judgments that often cloud our minds. This inner kindness becomes a source of strength, a steady calm that helps us face life's ups and downs with a gentle heart. Fulfilling our basic needs also involves finding balance in our daily routines. By creating a balanced approach to work, leisure, relationships, and self-care, we prevent burnout and maintain a steady state of well-being. This balance allows us to engage fully in each area of our lives, without feeling overwhelmed. By paying attention to how we spend our time, we create a life that supports both productivity and peace. This balance is a source of calm, a reminder that we don't need to sacrifice one aspect of our lives for another, but can instead create harmony. Cultivating a positive mindset is an essential part of meeting our foundational needs. By choosing to focus on gratitude, kindness, and optimism, we reinforce a sense of well-being that supports calm and resilience. This positive outlook helps us face challenges with a hopeful heart, seeing obstacles as opportunities for growth rather than sources of stress. A positive mindset becomes a foundation of peace, a guiding light that helps us navigate life's complexities with grace and confidence. By nurturing this mindset, we create a life that is both fulfilling and deeply rewarding, a life where calm and contentment are constants. Ensuring our foundational needs are met is not about indulging ourselves, but about creating a life that supports our highest well-being. When our physical, emotional, and mental needs are cared for, we build a stable platform from which we can live fully, engage deeply, and experience each moment with a calm, resilient heart. This foundation allows us to face life's challenges with confidence, knowing that we are supported by a structure of care and fulfillment. By meeting these needs, we create a life that is rich in peace, purpose, and joy, a life where calm and resilience are as natural as breathing. Meeting our foundational needs lays the groundwork for a steady, resilient peace within us, preparing us to face life's challenges with confidence and strength. Now, as we build upon this solid base, an equally powerful practice awaits, accepting and embracing our imperfections. This journey away from perfectionism frees us from the burden of self-criticism, inviting us to be fully present with who we truly are. By letting go of the need to be flawless, we open ourselves to authenticity, a gentler approach that eases the self-imposed stress that comes from unrealistic expectations. In embracing our imperfections, we find a calm rooted in acceptance, a strength born from vulnerability. Accepting imperfections starts with a shift in perspective. We live in a world that often celebrates flawlessness, leading us to believe that our worth is tied to achieving a perfect standard. But true worth lies in our uniqueness, in the qualities that make us who we are. When we recognize that our value isn't diminished by imperfections, we free ourselves from the constant pressure to meet impossible standards. This shift in perspective brings a deep relief, a peace that allows us to simply be without the need to constantly improve or achieve more. Letting go of perfectionism invites us to see mistakes as part of growth. Each error, each misstep, is an opportunity to learn and grow, adding depth to our experiences. When we stop viewing mistakes as failures, we release the stress that comes from fearing them. Instead, we start to see them as stepping stones, valuable lessons that enrich our journey. This mindset fosters resilience, as we learn that we are capable of handling challenges and using them to become stronger. By embracing our mistakes, we create a life that is free from the anxiety of failure, a life where calm and confidence guide us through each experience. Embracing our imperfections also enhances our relationships. When we allow ourselves to be seen as we truly are, without pretense or masks, we invite others to do the same. This openness creates a space for genuine connection as we relate to one another with honesty and compassion. By letting go of the need to appear perfect, we become more approachable, more relatable. Others feel comfortable being themselves around us, leading to relationships that are built on mutual respect and understanding. This authenticity brings a calm joy, a satisfaction that comes from knowing that our connections are real and meaningful. Self-acceptance is a powerful tool for inner peace. When we embrace our imperfections, we release the constant internal dialogue that often judges and criticizes. This acceptance quiets the mind, replacing self-criticism with compassion. By treating ourselves with kindness, we create a nurturing environment within, a space where we can find comfort and encouragement. This inner compassion becomes a source of resilience, a reminder that we are worthy of understanding and forgiveness. This kindness toward ourselves fosters a calm confidence, a strength that isn't shaken by setbacks or flaws, but is grounded in a deep respect for our own journey. Embracing imperfections allows us to pursue growth without the fear of judgment. When we accept that we are always a work in progress, we create a mindset that encourages exploration and curiosity. This openness allows us to try new things, to take risks, and to learn without the need for perfection. This approach brings a sense of freedom, a joy in the process of growth, rather than a fixation on outcomes. By letting go of perfection, we give ourselves permission to evolve naturally, to embrace change as a part of life. This focus on growth over perfection brings a calm resilience, a reminder that we are continually becoming and that each stage of our journey is valuable. Choosing to embrace imperfections also fosters gratitude. When we stop expecting ourselves to be perfect, we start to appreciate the qualities we do possess. This gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have, fostering a sense of contentment that supports inner peace. By valuing our unique strengths and accepting our limitations, we create a life that is grounded in appreciation. This gratitude becomes a source of calm, a steady joy that comes from recognizing the beauty in our authentic selves, flaws and all. Letting go of perfectionism teaches us humility. When we accept that we are not without flaws, we open ourselves to learning from others, to seeing value in different perspectives. This humility enhances our relationships as we approach others with an open mind, free from the need to prove ourselves. This openness fosters empathy, helping us understand and relate to others more deeply. By embracing our imperfections, we create a foundation for respectful, compassionate connections that bring a lasting peace to our interactions. This humility reminds us that we are all human, each on our own journey, and that our worth is not defined by our perfection, but by our willingness to grow and connect. Embracing imperfections encourages a positive mindset. When we let go of the need to be flawless, we start to see challenges as opportunities rather than threats. This perspective shift brings a resilience that allows us to approach difficulties with optimism and strength. By focusing on possibilities instead of limitations, we develop a mindset that supports growth and well-being. This positivity reinforces our calm as we learn to trust in our ability to handle life's ups and downs without the burden of unrealistic expectations. When we embrace our imperfections, we find freedom from external validation. The need for approval often stems from a desire to appear perfect in the eyes of others. But when we accept ourselves fully, we become less concerned with others' opinions. This self-assurance brings a deep peace, as we no longer feel the need to meet external standards to feel worthy. This independence allows us to live authentically, to pursue what truly matters to us rather than what is expected. This freedom from validation creates a life that is grounded in self-respect, a life where we find peace within ourselves rather than in the approval of others. By embracing our flaws, we become more resilient. Perfectionism often makes us fragile, as any mistake or failure feels like a setback. But when we accept that imperfection is natural, we build a resilience that allows us to bounce back from difficulties. This resilience strengthens our ability to face life with calm, knowing that we can handle challenges without being derailed by them. Each setback becomes an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to strengthen our resolve. This resilience becomes a source of calm confidence, a reminder that we are capable of navigating life with grace and courage. Accepting imperfections also fosters creativity. When we let go of the fear of making mistakes, we open ourselves to exploration and experimentation. This freedom encourages us to think outside the box, to try new ideas without the pressure to get everything right. This creative openness brings joy and fulfillment as we discover new aspects of ourselves and our abilities. By embracing imperfection, we allow our creativity to flourish, adding depth and richness to our lives. This creativity brings a calm satisfaction, a sense of joy in expressing ourselves authentically. Embracing our imperfections helps us stay present. Perfectionism often keeps us focused on the future, constantly working toward a flawless version of ourselves. But when we accept our flaws, we start to live in the here and now, appreciating who we are at this moment. This presence brings a sense of peace as we learn to value the journey rather than obsess over the destination. By staying present, we find joy in each stage of our growth, knowing that each moment is a valuable part of our story. This focus on the present brings a steady calm, a reminder that we are enough just as we are. When we accept our imperfections, we become more compassionate toward others. Recognizing our own flaws helps us relate to others with empathy, understanding that everyone has their own struggles and insecurities. This compassion deepens our connections, creating relationships that are built on mutual respect and kindness. By embracing our imperfections, we foster a world where people feel accepted for who they are, a world where peace and understanding thrive. This compassion brings a lasting joy, a satisfaction that comes from knowing we are contributing to a more compassionate world. Embracing our imperfections teaches us to value progress over perfection. Each step forward, no matter how small, becomes a celebration rather than a critique. This mindset supports a calm and steady growth as we focus on our own journey without comparing ourselves to an ideal. By valuing progress, we free ourselves from the stress of perfectionism, allowing ourselves to grow at a natural pace. This focus on progress brings a quiet confidence, a resilience that helps us approach life with optimism and determination. Accepting and embracing our imperfections is an ongoing journey, a practice that brings us closer to a life of peace and fulfillment. By letting go of the need for perfection, we create a life that is grounded in authenticity, a life where calm and resilience are natural states of being. This journey toward self-acceptance brings a deep satisfaction, a joy that comes from knowing we are enough, just as we are. Through this acceptance, we discover a strength that is not diminished by flaws, but is made more beautiful by them, a strength that allows us to live fully, freely, and peacefully. Accepting our imperfections frees us from the relentless pursuit of perfection and grounds us in a sense of calm rooted in self-compassion. Building on this foundation, there is a powerful practice that serves as an anchor to keep us steady in both peaceful and challenging moments: mindful breathing. This practice is more than a simple technique. It is a way to connect deeply with the present, offering an immediate path to calm when faced with stress or difficulty. Through intentional breathing, we cultivate a steady presence, an internal sanctuary we can access at any time. With each breath, we embrace a state of calm that supports resilience, clarity, and emotional balance. Mindful breathing begins with awareness. By simply bringing attention to each breath, we draw ourselves out of the swirl of thoughts and into the present. This awareness helps us observe the natural rhythm of our breath without trying to change it, just noticing the flow in and out. In doing so, we create a space in our minds where peace can settle. This practice reminds us that, no matter what is happening around us, we can always return to the breath as a grounding point, a stable presence within. Intentional breathing also helps regulate our emotions. When we're stressed or anxious, our breathing often becomes shallow and rapid, signaling the body that something is wrong. By consciously slowing down our breath, we send a message to our nervous system that we are safe, that there is no need to panic. This practice calms the body and mind, creating a buffer between us and our reactions. This emotional regulation fosters resilience, allowing us to face challenges with a calm and composed demeanor. This steady presence becomes a source of strength, helping us respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Breathing mindfully strengthens our connection to the present moment. Each breath acts as an anchor, drawing us away from past regrets or future anxieties and into the here and now. This focus on the present allows us to experience life more fully, to engage with each moment as it unfolds. By staying present, we find a peace that isn't dependent on circumstances, but is rooted in the simple act of being. This presence becomes a source of calm clarity, a reminder that we don't need to worry about what has been or what might be. We only need to focus on this breath, this moment. Practicing mindful breathing also reduces mental clutter. Our minds are often filled with thoughts that distract us from what truly matters. By focusing on our breath, we create a space where these thoughts can settle, bringing a sense of clarity and focus. This mental clarity allows us to see things as they are, free from the distortions of worry or doubt. With each breath, we clear away the mental noise, creating a peaceful space where we can think, feel, and act with intention. This clarity brings a calm that supports both our well-being and our ability to make thoughtful decisions. Intentional breathing fosters patience. Each time we breathe mindfully, we practice patience with ourselves, gently returning to the breath whenever our mind wanders. This patience extends beyond the practice itself, helping us approach life's challenges with a calm acceptance. We learn to wait, to take things one breath at a time, trusting that we have the resilience to handle whatever comes our way. This patience becomes a foundation of calm, a steady presence that helps us face life with grace and understanding. Through mindful breathing, we cultivate compassion. By focusing on our breath, we learn to approach ourselves with kindness, treating each distraction or wandering thought with gentle acceptance. This compassion toward ourselves builds a foundation for how we relate to others. We become more understanding, more patient, and more empathetic, recognizing that everyone faces moments of struggle. This compassion brings a lasting peace, a sense of connection to others that is free from judgment or impatience. Through breathing, we learn to embrace both ourselves and others with an open heart. Mindful breathing also helps us manage physical discomfort. When faced with pain or tension, our first instinct is often to resist, which only heightens our discomfort. By breathing into the area of tension, we create a space of acceptance around it, softening the pain rather than fighting it. This approach reduces both physical and emotional discomfort, allowing us to experience each sensation without becoming overwhelmed by it. This acceptance fosters resilience, helping us face discomfort with calm and strength, knowing that each breath brings relief and presence. Intentional breathing brings balance. Our lives are often filled with demands that pull us in different directions, creating a sense of imbalance. By centering on the breath, we find a place of equilibrium within ourselves. This balance helps us stay grounded amidst life's challenges, a calm center that remains steady no matter what. This sense of balance brings a deep peace, a reminder that we don't need to be constantly moving or achieving. We can simply be, grounded in the calm of each breath. Through breathing mindfully, we develop resilience. Each time we focus on our breath during a stressful moment, we build our ability to handle difficulties with calm. This resilience grows over time, becoming a source of strength that helps us face life's uncertainties with confidence. By returning to the breath in challenging times, we reinforce our capacity to remain composed and centered, no matter what arises. This resilience is a quiet power, a calm assurance that we have the strength to handle whatever comes our way. Mindful breathing deepens our self-awareness. As we focus on our breath, we start to notice patterns in our thoughts and emotions, becoming more attuned to our inner world. This awareness helps us understand our reactions, to see the root of our stress or discomfort. By developing this understanding, we gain insight into ourselves, a clarity that brings calm and self-acceptance. This self-awareness becomes a foundation for growth, helping us navigate life with a deep understanding of who we are and what we need. Practicing intentional breathing also enhances our focus. By training ourselves to return to the breath each time our mind wanders, we strengthen our ability to concentrate. This focus extends beyond breathing, helping us stay present in all areas of our lives. Whether at work, in conversation, or pursuing a personal goal, this enhanced focus brings a calm presence that supports productivity and satisfaction. This focused mind is free from distractions, allowing us to engage deeply with whatever we're doing, experiencing life with clarity and intention. Mindful breathing creates a sense of unity with life. Each breath connects us to the world around us, a reminder that we are part of a larger whole. This connection fosters a sense of peace, a reminder that we are supported by the very air we breathe. This unity brings comfort, a calm assurance that we are not alone but connected to the flow of life. By embracing this connection, we find a deep peace, a sense of belonging that supports us through life's challenges. Through breathing mindfully, we cultivate a positive mindset. The act of focusing on the breath helps us let go of negative thoughts, creating a space where positivity can flourish. This shift brings a calm optimism, a hopeful outlook that enhances our resilience. With each breath, we reinforce our commitment to focus on what is good and uplifting, a choice that supports our well-being. This positive mindset becomes a source of joy, a reminder that we have the power to shape our perspective, one breath at a time. Mindful breathing encourages us to slow down. In a world that values speed and efficiency, taking the time to breathe deeply is a powerful reminder that we don't need to rush. This slower pace brings a sense of calm, a reminder that life doesn't need to be a race. By slowing down, we create a space for presence, for fully experiencing each moment. This approach brings a calm satisfaction, a sense of peace that arises from knowing that we are exactly where we need to be, right here, right now. Intentional breathing also enhances our creativity. When we clear our minds through focused breathing, we create a space where new ideas and inspiration can emerge. This openness fosters creativity, allowing us to see things from fresh perspectives. This creativity brings joy and fulfillment as we explore new ways of thinking and expressing ourselves. By grounding ourselves in the breath, we create a foundation for creativity that enriches our lives, adding depth and meaning to each moment. Breathing mindfully brings a sense of gratitude. Each breath is a reminder of the simple gift of life, a moment of appreciation for the body that sustains us. This gratitude fills us with a quiet joy, a recognition of the abundance we already possess. This gratitude supports inner peace, a calm that is grounded in appreciation rather than longing. By focusing on the breath, we cultivate a mindset of gratitude, a lasting source of happiness and fulfillment. Practicing mindful breathing fosters self-compassion. Each time we return to the breath, we choose to be present with ourselves, to treat each moment of distraction with kindness. This self-compassion helps us accept ourselves as we are, without judgment or criticism. This kindness brings a deep peace, a calm confidence that comes from knowing that we are worthy of care and understanding. By breathing mindfully, we strengthen our relationship with ourselves, creating a foundation of compassion that supports our well-being. In dedicating time to mindful breathing, we discover a lasting source of inner calm. This practice is more than a tool. It is a way of being that brings clarity, resilience, and joy. Through each breath, we anchor ourselves in a state of peace, a calm that remains steady no matter what life brings. This connection to the breath becomes a source of strength, a reminder that we have everything we need to face life's challenges with grace and confidence. Through mindful breathing, we cultivate a life of presence, compassion, and deep inner peace. With mindful breathing, we've embraced a source of calm and inner strength that sustains us in any situation. Yet, there are subtle forces in daily life that can quietly drain our energy, making it difficult to maintain this state of peace. Without realizing it, we often let these things creep into our lives, weakening our resilience and robbing us of vitality. Identifying these energy drains and taking steps to avoid them is essential in preserving our well-being and protecting the balance we've worked so hard to cultivate. By bringing awareness to these influences, we can create a life that supports, rather than saps, our energy. One significant energy drain is holding on to grudges. When we harbor resentment or anger, we create an emotional weight that follows us, pulling us down and clouding our minds. Grudges act like anchors, tethering us to past hurts and keeping us from moving forward. Releasing these feelings through forgiveness doesn't mean we condone harmful behavior. Rather, it means we free ourselves from the emotional burden. By letting go of resentment, we reclaim energy previously bound to the past, redirecting it toward the present, where peace and calm reside. Another hidden energy drain is seeking constant approval from others. When we tie our self-worth to external validation, we place ourselves at the mercy of others' opinions. This habit leaves us in a state of insecurity, constantly questioning our actions and doubting ourselves. True strength lies in internal validation, trusting our own values and instincts. By learning to value our own opinion, we find a confidence that is self-sustaining, freeing us from the need for constant reassurance. This shift restores our energy, empowering us to live authentically. Overcommitting is another way we inadvertently drain ourselves. When we spread ourselves too thin, we leave little room for rest or reflection. This habit stems from a desire to please or a fear of missing out, but it ultimately leads to burnout. Setting boundaries and prioritizing only what truly matters allows us to focus our energy effectively. Saying no is an act of self-care that ensures we don't sacrifice our peace for the sake of pleasing others. By honoring our limits, we create a life that is both fulfilling and sustainable. Procrastination, too, can be a silent thief of energy. When we delay tasks, we create a mental burden that grows heavier over time. This lingering obligation drains our focus, keeping us from fully enjoying the present. Taking action, even in small steps, helps us release this burden, restoring a sense of control and accomplishment. By facing tasks head-on, we prevent them from overshadowing our peace, freeing our minds from unnecessary stress. Another source of energy depletion is excessive worry. When we obsess over future uncertainties, we waste energy on outcomes that may never materialize. Worrying serves no practical purpose. It only amplifies stress. By focusing on what we can control and letting go of hypothetical scenarios, we protect our mental well-being. This choice to trust in our resilience brings calm, reminding us that we have the strength to face whatever comes our way without wasting energy on what-ifs. Negative self-talk is another habit that drains us from within. The internal critic often magnifies our flaws and doubts, eroding our confidence and motivation. Replacing self-criticism with self-compassion creates an internal environment where growth and peace can flourish. When we speak to ourselves kindly, we uplift our spirit, nurturing a confidence that energizes rather than diminishes us. This compassion fuels our journey, providing the encouragement we need to face challenges with a steady heart. Dwelling on the past is another behavior that saps our energy. While reflection is valuable for growth, excessive rumination traps us in regret and prevents us from fully engaging with the present. By choosing to focus on the lessons rather than the losses, we free ourselves from the weight of what cannot be changed. This shift allows us to move forward with renewed energy, guided by wisdom rather than regret. Living in the present brings a sense of freedom, a lightness that supports our well-being. Engaging in gossip or negative talk about others is a drain that affects both our spirit and our energy. When we speak poorly of others, we create an environment of negativity that ultimately reflects back on ourselves. Choosing to avoid gossip fosters a positive mindset, one that encourages growth and kindness. This practice brings peace to our interactions, filling us with a sense of integrity that uplifts rather than drains. By speaking positively, we cultivate a peaceful atmosphere that benefits both ourselves and those around us. Constant exposure to negative media is another source of energy depletion. While staying informed is important, consuming a steady diet of negativity can lead to feelings of despair or anxiety. Being selective about the information we absorb helps protect our mental health. Choosing sources that inform without overwhelming us allows us to stay engaged without being consumed. By controlling what we take in, we maintain a balanced perspective, one that supports resilience rather than fear. Comparing ourselves to others is an energy drain that breeds discontent. When we measure our worth against someone else's achievements, we lose sight of our own unique path. Embracing our individuality and focusing on personal growth prevents this unnecessary depletion of energy. Each person's journey is unique, and by appreciating our own progress, we cultivate a sense of fulfillment that is not dependent on external standards. This self-acceptance brings a calm satisfaction, a peace that is rooted in authenticity. Fear of failure can also drain us, holding us back from pursuing what we truly desire. This fear often keeps us in a state of hesitation, sapping our motivation and preventing growth. By reframing failure as a stepping stone rather than a setback, we free ourselves from the grip of fear. Embracing challenges with courage allows us to move forward with energy and enthusiasm. Each attempt, regardless of the outcome, brings growth, strengthening our resilience and expanding our comfort zone. Clutter, whether physical or mental, can drain our energy without our realizing it. A disorganized environment can create stress, making it difficult to focus or relax. By simplifying our surroundings, we create a space that promotes clarity and calm. This clarity extends to our mental space as we let go of unnecessary worries or distractions. Organizing our environment and mind fosters a sense of control, an order that allows us to conserve energy for what truly matters. Avoiding these energy-draining habits allows us to preserve our strength and vitality, supporting a life that is rich in peace and fulfillment. By bringing awareness to these influences, we reclaim control over our well-being, creating a life that uplifts rather than exhausts. Each of these choices reflects a commitment to ourselves, a dedication to living with clarity, calm, and purpose. As we let go of these drains, we make room for the things that energize and inspire us, building a life that is balanced, resilient, and deeply rewarding. After learning to guard against the forces that drain our energy, we find ourselves with the clarity and strength to create deeper, more meaningful connections. The next step explores how to inspire a lasting impression on others, one that naturally draws them to think of us, miss us, and desire our presence. Rooted in Stoic principles, this approach isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about becoming the kind of person who radiates such genuine qualities that others are compelled to value, respect, and seek our presence. Cultivating these traits within ourselves creates a sense of magnetism, inspiring others to feel connected to us, even in our absence. The journey begins with authenticity. To truly be missed, we must be real and grounded in who we are. There's a quiet power in authenticity, as it reflects a confidence and self-assurance that others can sense and appreciate. When we are genuine, people feel at ease around us because they know what they see is real. Authenticity fosters trust, and in an age where so much can feel superficial, being authentically oneself leaves a deep impact. This genuine nature draws others to us, as they come to value the honesty and openness we bring to each interaction. Practicing kindness and respect toward others is another fundamental step. Stoic teachings emphasize the importance of compassion and humility, understanding that every person has their own unique struggles. By treating others with kindness and respect, we become a source of comfort and positivity in their lives. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel valued and respected. This warmth creates a memory that stays with them, something they miss and desire to experience again. Showing respect and kindness doesn't require grand gestures. Sometimes it's the small, thoughtful actions that leave the deepest impression. Being a good listener is an often overlooked quality that can make others feel deeply connected to us. When we listen fully and attentively, we offer a rare gift in a world full of distractions. This focused attention tells people that we genuinely care, that their thoughts and feelings matter. Good listeners create an emotional space where people feel seen and understood. When we show this level of attentiveness, others come to value our presence and miss our company when we're not around. Listening creates a bond that lingers, a memory of being heard that others long to experience again. Stoicism also teaches us the value of self-reliance and independence. To be genuinely desired by others, we must first cultivate a life that fulfills us. When we are self-sufficient, engaged in personal growth, and passionate about our pursuits, we become more attractive and intriguing. Independence shows that we don't rely on others for validation or fulfillment. This strength inspires respect, as people are naturally drawn to those who lead purposeful lives. By pursuing our interests and goals with passion, we cultivate a sense of mystery, a quality that makes others think of us, curious about our journey and who we are becoming. Maintaining a positive outlook, even in difficult situations, also leaves a lasting impression. Positivity isn't about ignoring challenges. It's about choosing to approach life's struggles with grace and resilience. When we remain calm and centered, others sense a steady presence in us, a peaceful energy that feels safe and uplifting. This calm positivity is rare, and people are drawn to it because it makes them feel hopeful. By cultivating a mindset that finds peace amidst difficulty, we become a source of inspiration, someone others miss when they're not around, as they feel strengthened in our presence. Establishing healthy boundaries is also key in relationships. When we have clear boundaries, we show others that we value ourselves and our time. Boundaries are not about creating distance, they're about setting a standard for respect. By respecting our own limits, we teach others to value our time and presence. Boundaries create a sense of self-respect that others admire and aspire to emulate. This respect fosters a balanced relationship where we are appreciated rather than taken for granted, making our absence felt and our presence valued. Embracing silence is another powerful approach that aligns with Stoic principles. We don't always need to fill every moment with words. Silence can create a space for reflection and anticipation. Allowing moments of silence in conversations gives others the chance to think, to feel, and to appreciate the interaction on a deeper level. This practice of silence leaves an impression, a sense of calm that lingers. By being comfortable with silence, we communicate confidence and depth, qualities that make others think of us long after the conversation ends. Being reliable and trustworthy also sets us apart in a way that makes others miss us. When we consistently show up as dependable and sincere, people come to know that they can rely on us. Reliability fosters a sense of security in relationships, a trust that makes our presence invaluable. People miss those they can count on, as reliability is a rare and cherished quality. By being consistent in our words and actions, we build a foundation of trust that others value deeply, creating a bond that makes our absence felt. Another way to create a lasting impact is by showing genuine interest in others' lives. When we ask about their dreams, struggles, and aspirations, we demonstrate that we care beyond surface interactions. This interest helps people feel valued, and they come to look forward to our presence because they feel understood. Showing interest in others builds a sense of connection that makes us memorable. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel important, and this bond stays with them, making our absence something they notice. Stoic teachings also encourage us to be patient and give space. Sometimes, allowing others the freedom to miss us can strengthen the relationship. By not always being readily available, we create a sense of mystery and anticipation. This space gives others the chance to reflect on our presence in their lives and appreciate what we bring to the relationship. Patience allows connections to grow naturally, without pressure or neediness. When we give others room, we become someone they miss and think of fondly, someone they look forward to reconnecting with. A sense of humor and light-heartedness can also make us unforgettable. In times of stress, people gravitate toward those who bring joy and laughter. Humor brings a sense of relief and connection, making others feel comfortable and at ease. By sharing laughter, we create memories that stay with people, moments they look back on with warmth. A light-hearted presence brings balance, making our company something others cherish and seek out. This joy becomes a part of how they remember us, a quality that makes them miss our presence when we're gone. Continuing to grow and evolve is a quality that makes others think of us with admiration and intrigue. When we are committed to self-improvement and personal growth, we inspire those around us. Growth brings new perspectives, interests, and strengths, keeping us dynamic and interesting. People are naturally drawn to those who are evolving, as it encourages them to reflect on their own journeys. By pursuing growth, we become a source of inspiration, someone others admire and look forward to connecting with. This evolution makes us unforgettable, someone who leaves an impression and is missed when absent. By integrating these qualities into our lives, we cultivate a presence that is valued and sought after. Each of these steps aligns with Stoic principles, helping us create relationships based on respect, authenticity, and kindness. This approach to connection is not about trying to be missed or admired. It's about becoming someone who naturally draws others in, someone who leaves a lasting positive impact. Through these actions, we build relationships that are both meaningful and enduring, relationships where our absence is felt as much as our presence is appreciated. Building connections that are rooted in mutual respect and admiration enriches our lives deeply. Yet, an essential element of maintaining balanced relationships and personal well-being is learning to release emotional dependence. Emotional dependence can subtly undermine our happiness, placing our sense of peace and stability in the hands of others. Stoic philosophy guides us in cultivating inner resilience, teaching us how to rely on our own inner resources for strength and self-worth. By practicing these steps, we free ourselves from the need for constant approval or validation from others, building a life of emotional independence and true self-confidence. One of the first steps in eliminating emotional dependence is learning to cultivate self-awareness. This requires examining our thoughts and recognizing the triggers that lead us to seek validation from others. When we understand the root of these needs, we can begin to address them from within rather than seeking answers externally. Self-awareness helps us identify patterns in our thinking that contribute to dependency, allowing us to approach them with greater clarity. Through reflection, we come to understand that true worth and security lie within, setting the foundation for emotional resilience. Developing self-compassion is also crucial. When we treat ourselves with kindness, we build an internal environment that supports rather than criticizes. Emotional dependence often arises when we feel inadequate or unworthy, driving us to seek reassurance from others. By practicing self-compassion, we affirm our own worth, fostering a sense of completeness that is independent of external opinions. This kindness toward ourselves creates a stable foundation, allowing us to face challenges without the need for constant validation. Self-compassion becomes a source of inner peace, reminding us that we are enough as we are. Practicing mindfulness is another powerful tool for reducing emotional dependence. By staying present and observing our emotions without judgment, we become less reactive to external influences. Mindfulness helps us notice when we start to seek reassurance, allowing us to pause and redirect our attention inward. This awareness creates a space where we can choose to respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Mindfulness fosters emotional balance, empowering us to remain steady and self-sufficient in our interactions. This calm presence becomes a strength, a reminder that we are capable of finding peace within ourselves. Building self-reliance is also key to eliminating emotional dependence. When we take responsibility for our happiness and well-being, we empower ourselves to meet our own needs. Self-reliance encourages us to cultivate skills, pursue interests, and find fulfillment in our own achievements. By developing a life that is rich and meaningful independently, we reduce the need to rely on others for happiness. This self-sufficiency fosters confidence, helping us approach relationships from a place of strength rather than need. Self-reliance brings a quiet assurance, a sense of completeness that is not dependent on anyone else. Another vital step is learning to set healthy boundaries. Emotional dependence often arises when we allow others to define our worth or control our happiness. By establishing clear boundaries, we protect our emotional space, ensuring that our sense of self remains intact. Boundaries are not about distancing ourselves. They are about creating a safe space where we can grow without interference. This respect for our own limits reinforces our self-worth, helping us maintain independence in our relationships. Boundaries foster a balanced connection where we engage with others without losing ourselves. Embracing acceptance is also fundamental to reducing emotional dependence. When we accept ourselves fully, including our strengths and imperfections, we no longer feel the need to seek approval. Acceptance fosters a deep sense of peace, allowing us to be at ease with who we are. This ease creates a resilience that shields us from the ups and downs of external validation. Acceptance reminds us that we are worthy as we are, reducing the urge to look outside ourselves for affirmation. This self-acceptance brings a calm confidence, a steady presence that remains unshaken by others' opinions. Practicing gratitude helps shift our focus from what we lack to what we have. When we appreciate our own qualities, accomplishments, and growth, we cultivate a sense of fulfillment that is independent of others. Gratitude fosters a mindset of abundance, reducing the need to seek reassurance or approval. By focusing on the positive aspects of ourselves and our lives, we strengthen our sense of self-worth. This gratitude becomes a source of joy, a reminder that we have everything we need within us. It reinforces our emotional independence, helping us build a life that is rich and satisfying. Developing emotional resilience is another important step in overcoming dependence. Resilience is the ability to face difficulties without being overwhelmed by them. By building resilience, we become less vulnerable to the influence of others, learning to handle challenges with confidence. This resilience grows through practice as we face setbacks and learn to bounce back. Each experience of resilience strengthens our belief in ourselves, reducing the need to rely on others for support. Emotional resilience becomes a foundation of strength, helping us face life with a steady heart and a calm mind. Focusing on personal growth is also essential in reducing emotional dependence. When we are committed to our own development, we find fulfillment within ourselves. This dedication to growth shifts our focus from external validation to internal progress. By setting personal goals and working toward them, we cultivate a sense of purpose and direction. This focus on growth creates a deep satisfaction, a sense of achievement that is not dependent on others' approval. Personal growth brings a lasting peace, a fulfillment that supports our well-being independently. Embracing solitude is a powerful way to cultivate emotional independence. Time alone allows us to reconnect with ourselves, to explore our thoughts and feelings without outside influence. Solitude helps us develop a relationship with ourselves, a sense of contentment that is self-sustaining. By learning to enjoy our own company, we reduce the need to seek fulfillment in others. This comfort with solitude fosters a calm independence, a peace that comes from knowing that we are whole on our own. Through solitude, we build a strong foundation, a resilience that supports us in all areas of life. Each of these steps reflects a commitment to personal strength, a dedication to building a life that is rich, fulfilling, and independent. By releasing emotional dependence, we free ourselves from the need for constant validation, creating a sense of peace that is deeply rooted within. This journey towards self-reliance and inner confidence is a path to true freedom, one where we find joy in who we are without needing approval or affirmation from anyone else. Through these practices, we cultivate a resilience that supports us in every relationship and challenge, creating a life that is balanced, empowered, and profoundly satisfying. Embracing emotional independence gives us strength and inner peace, helping us establish boundaries that protect our well-being. Yet, as we navigate relationships with others, we sometimes encounter individuals who may not have our best interests at heart. Stoic wisdom teaches us that while compassion and kindness are virtues, it's equally important to discern where we invest our energy and resources. Certain people, through their behavior or attitude, may misuse our help, leaving us feeling depleted or taken advantage of. Identifying these types of people can protect us from unnecessary frustration, allowing us to reserve our energy for those who genuinely value and respect it. One type of person we should be cautious about helping is the perpetual victim. This individual sees themselves as constantly at the mercy of circumstances, refusing to take responsibility for their actions or decisions. By constantly blaming external factors, they become trapped in a cycle of self-pity. Offering help to someone who has no intention of moving beyond their victim mentality often becomes an exercise in futility. Our compassion can be better directed toward those who are willing to take accountability and actively work on improving their situation. Assisting those who refuse to take ownership only reinforces their dependency, preventing them from experiencing personal growth. Another type to be wary of is the chronic complainer. These individuals find fault in almost everything, often focusing on the negative while ignoring the positive aspects of life. No matter the help or advice offered, they respond with criticism or more complaints, showing little appreciation or willingness to change their outlook. Engaging with a chronic complainer can drain our energy, as their negativity tends to overshadow any efforts to bring positivity or solutions. Offering help to such individuals often feels like pouring water into a bucket with holes, as nothing we do seems to make a difference. Instead, our energy can be better invested in those open to seeing life from a more balanced perspective. The manipulative person is another type to approach cautiously. These individuals use charm, guilt, or flattery to get what they want, often without genuine concern for others. They may feign vulnerability to elicit sympathy, making us feel obligated to help. However, their intentions are often self-serving, and they rarely reciprocate kindness. Helping a manipulator often leaves us feeling used, as they prioritize their own gain over our well-being. It's essential to recognize manipulative behavior early on and set boundaries to protect ourselves from exploitation. Supporting those who seek help with sincerity rather than manipulation is a healthier, more balanced approach. Another type is the entitled person, who feels they deserve special treatment or assistance without effort or gratitude. These individuals often expect others to cater to their needs, viewing help as a right rather than a favor. Their lack of appreciation can be disheartening, as no matter how much we assist, they rarely show gratitude or acknowledgement. Offering help to the entitled reinforces their belief that others owe them something, which can perpetuate a cycle of dependency and ingratitude. Instead, it's more rewarding to help those who genuinely value and appreciate our efforts, as it fosters mutual respect and understanding. The overly dependent individual is another person to be mindful of. This person relies heavily on others for emotional, financial, or logistical support, often to the point of dependency. While everyone needs support from time to time, overly dependent individuals make little effort to stand on their own, relying on others to solve their problems. Helping such individuals can create an unhealthy dynamic where they become reliant on us rather than learning to cope independently. Encouraging self-reliance is ultimately more beneficial for both parties, as it empowers them to develop the skills needed to manage their own lives. Those who disregard boundaries are another group to approach with caution. These individuals often expect others to be available at all times, showing little respect for personal limits. They may overstep boundaries by demanding time, attention, or resources without considering our needs or availability. Helping those who refuse to respect boundaries can lead to exhaustion and resentment, as our own well-being becomes secondary to their demands. It's important to establish and enforce boundaries with such individuals, ensuring that our kindness is not taken advantage of. By doing so, we protect our energy and maintain a balanced approach to helping others. The drama-driven individual is also someone to be cautious about helping. These people thrive on conflict, chaos, or crises, often pulling others into their emotional storms. They may seek help during moments of turmoil, only to ignore advice or create new conflicts. Engaging with drama-driven individuals can be emotionally taxing, as they often bring turbulence rather than resolution. Offering help to such individuals can feel like trying to calm a storm that constantly regenerates. Instead, focusing on those who seek stability and calm in their lives fosters a more peaceful and productive environment for both parties. Another type to avoid helping excessively is the procrastinator, especially when their delays repeatedly create emergencies. While everyone occasionally faces time constraints, habitual procrastinators often neglect responsibilities, relying on others to bail them out at the last minute. Helping a procrastinator under such circumstances reinforces their habit, as they come to expect that someone will always be there to fix their problems. By refusing to enable this behavior, we encourage them to take responsibility and develop better time management skills. This approach supports their growth while protecting us from unnecessary stress. The ungrateful person is another individual to approach with discernment. These individuals rarely show appreciation for help received, often taking it for granted. Helping those who fail to acknowledge our efforts can be disheartening, as it feels like our kindness goes unnoticed. Gratitude is a simple yet essential response that reinforces positive exchanges. By choosing to help those who show appreciation, we create relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. The act of expressing gratitude not only validates our efforts, but also fosters a sense of connection and reciprocity. The envious individual is one to be cautious about helping. These people harbor feelings of jealousy or resentment toward others' success or happiness, often undermining or belittling others' achievements. Helping someone who is envious can lead to frustration, as they may downplay or criticize our support. This lack of supportiveness can create a toxic dynamic where their envy overshadows any positive interaction. Focusing on helping those who uplift and encourage others creates a more constructive and harmonious environment, one that supports growth and mutual respect. By recognizing these types of individuals, we make wiser choices about where to invest our energy and compassion. Stoic wisdom encourages us to extend kindness thoughtfully, understanding that not everyone is prepared to receive help constructively. Protecting our well-being by setting boundaries and discerning who truly values our support allows us to foster relationships that are healthy, respectful, and uplifting. This approach not only conserves our energy, but also reinforces a life of balanced and purposeful interactions, grounded in mutual respect and genuine connection. Having learned when to reserve our energy and kindness for those who truly value it, we're ready to explore how Stoic wisdom can guide us in overcoming feelings of loneliness and depression. Loneliness and despair often stem from a sense of disconnection, from ourselves, from others, or from a larger purpose. Stoicism, with its timeless teachings on resilience, perspective, and inner strength, offers profound lessons that help us foster a life of contentment and connection. Through these insights, we learn to build a foundation of inner peace, one that is less affected by external circumstances and more grounded in our own strength and understanding. One of the core lessons Stoicism teaches us is the importance of self-reliance. When we cultivate self-reliance, we develop an inner reservoir of strength that doesn't depend on the presence or approval of others. This self-reliance isn't about isolating ourselves. Rather, it's about understanding that true fulfillment comes from within. By focusing on personal growth, we foster a sense of completeness that makes loneliness less likely. We begin to feel at peace in our own company, knowing that our sense of worth and happiness isn't dependent on external validation. This self-assured independence becomes a source of resilience, helping us find contentment wherever we are. Stoicism also emphasizes acceptance as a path to inner peace. Life is filled with moments of joy as well as sorrow, and when we learn to accept both with equanimity, we release the need for things to be constantly better or different. By embracing what is, rather than longing for what isn't, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. This acceptance creates a sense of calm, a peace that isn't shaken by the inevitable challenges of life. We come to understand that while loneliness or sadness may arise, these emotions don't define us. They are simply passing states. Acceptance grounds us, allowing us to move through difficult moments with grace. Another key Stoic principle is the focus on what we can control versus what we cannot. Often, loneliness and depression arise from feeling powerless over our circumstances. By focusing on what we can control, our actions, thoughts, and responses, we regain a sense of agency. This shift in perspective empowers us to make positive changes, no matter how small, that improve our state of mind. When we concentrate on our own actions and choices, we build a sense of purpose and responsibility, reducing feelings of helplessness. This proactive approach brings a steady calm, a sense of confidence in our ability to navigate life's uncertainties. Practicing gratitude is another Stoic lesson that combats loneliness and depression. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we cultivate a mindset of abundance. Gratitude shifts our attention from what's missing to what is present, allowing us to see the richness in our lives. This focus on gratitude creates a sense of connection to life itself, reminding us that even in difficult times, there are aspects of our lives to appreciate. This shift in perspective brings a quiet joy, a gentle reminder that we are never truly alone when we feel gratitude for the world around us. Stoicism also encourages us to find purpose and meaning even in hardship. When we see each experience as part of a larger journey, we become less vulnerable to feelings of despair. Purpose gives us direction, a sense of meaning that grounds us. When we focus on what we can contribute or how we can grow, our attention shifts from loneliness to purpose. This focus on meaning transforms our perspective, helping us view challenges as opportunities for growth. Purpose brings fulfillment, a sense of connection to something greater than ourselves that wards off feelings of isolation. Another powerful Stoic teaching is the practice of resilience. Resilience isn't about ignoring or suppressing difficult emotions. It's about learning to face them with courage and grace. When we build resilience, we become better equipped to handle life's ups and downs. This inner strength helps us face loneliness or sadness without feeling overwhelmed, allowing us to experience these emotions without becoming defined by them. Resilience teaches us that we can endure, that we are capable of moving through difficulty and coming out stronger. This strength brings a steady calm, a quiet confidence that keeps loneliness and despair at bay. Stoicism also teaches the value of community and connection. While self-reliance is essential, Stoic philosophy also emphasizes the importance of meaningful relationships. True companionship isn't about filling a void. It's about sharing life with others in a way that enriches both parties. By seeking genuine connections based on respect and mutual understanding, we build a support network that sustains us. Community offers a sense of belonging, reminding us that we are part of something larger. These connections reduce feelings of isolation, bringing warmth and joy into our lives. Practicing mindfulness is another way to cultivate inner peace and reduce feelings of loneliness. By staying present, we experience each moment fully rather than getting lost in thoughts of the past or future. Mindfulness helps us appreciate the simple moments, the small joys that might otherwise go unnoticed. This focus on the present fosters a sense of contentment, a reminder that peace is found in the here and now. Mindfulness reduces the tendency to dwell on loneliness or sadness, helping us find satisfaction in the present moment. Learning to detach from outcomes is another Stoic lesson that reduces suffering. When we let go of rigid expectations, we free ourselves from the constant pressure to achieve or obtain. This detachment doesn't mean we stop caring. Rather, it means we don't let our happiness depend on specific outcomes. By embracing the process rather than fixating on results, we find a steady peace that isn't easily disturbed. This detachment brings a calm resilience, a reminder that our worth isn't tied to achievements, but is rooted in our own being. Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-care. Taking care of our physical, mental, and emotional well-being is essential for combating loneliness and depression. Self-care isn't indulgent, it's a commitment to our own health and peace of mind. By nurturing ourselves, we create a foundation of stability and strength, a place of comfort within. Self-care reminds us that we are worthy of love and attention, reducing feelings of loneliness by fostering a deep connection with ourselves. These Stoic lessons offer a roadmap for cultivating a life that is rich in meaning, peace, and resilience. By embracing self-reliance, acceptance, gratitude, and purpose, we create a foundation that supports us in moments of loneliness or despair. Stoicism teaches us that while difficult emotions are a natural part of life, they don't have to define us. Through these practices, we build a life that is resilient, connected, and profoundly fulfilling, one where loneliness and sadness have little power to disrupt our inner peace. Understanding the Stoic principles that help us stay resilient against loneliness and sadness has fortified our inner peace. Now, there's another area where Stoicism can be a profound guide, dealing with situations where people ignore us or distance themselves. When relationships become strained or people pull away, it can feel deeply unsettling, triggering questions of self-worth or wondering what went wrong. But Stoic wisdom reminds us that our sense of peace shouldn't be dictated by others' actions or approval. By shifting our focus and practicing specific principles, we can navigate these experiences with strength, grace, and calm, turning challenging situations into opportunities for growth. First, acceptance is crucial. People's choices and actions, including their decision to distance themselves, are ultimately beyond our control. When we release the need to change others' actions, we liberate ourselves from feelings of helplessness and frustration. Acceptance allows us to acknowledge what is happening without the burden of resistance. It doesn't mean we're indifferent or uncaring. Rather, we recognize that our peace cannot hinge on someone else's decision to pull away. By accepting what we cannot control, we create space for serenity and prevent ourselves from spiraling into unnecessary worry or blame. Another key Stoic approach in these situations is self-reflection. When someone distances themselves, it's natural to question our own actions and wonder if we contributed to the distance. Self-reflection helps us evaluate our behavior with honesty, not to self-criticize, but to seek understanding. Through reflection, we gain insight into our own role, if any, in the situation. This process brings clarity, helping us identify areas for growth without fixating on the other person's choices. Self-reflection empowers us to learn, not out of guilt, but as a way to enhance our self-awareness and resilience. Building self-reliance becomes even more essential when facing rejection or distancing. Stoicism teaches that true strength comes from within. independent of others' validation. By nurturing our own sense of worth, we become less affected by external judgments or actions. Self-reliance reminds us that we are whole as we are, and that our value isn't determined by others' choices. This independence doesn't mean we close ourselves off emotionally. It means we anchor our worth in who we are, not in how others treat us. This foundation of self-worth allows us to engage with others from a place of confidence rather than need. Detachment from expectations is also a powerful tool. Often we expect relationships to remain constant, hoping that people will always be there in the way we envision. But expectations can set us up for disappointment, as life is ever-changing. By releasing rigid expectations, we open ourselves to accepting each relationship as it is, free from the need for it to follow a specific path. This detachment doesn't lessen the bond. It simply removes the pressure we place on it. Detachment allows us to enjoy the relationship without the burden of expectation, reducing our sensitivity to perceived rejection. Practicing gratitude, even in difficult situations, helps us shift our focus. When faced with distance or rejection, it's easy to dwell on what's missing. But gratitude redirects our attention to what we still have, grounding us in appreciation rather than loss. We begin to value the relationships that remain, as well as the qualities in ourselves that sustain us. This practice of gratitude creates a sense of fulfillment, a reminder that our lives are full of blessings, even when certain connections may fade. By focusing on gratitude, we prevent bitterness from taking root, nurturing peace instead. Stoicism also encourages us to recognize the impermanence of all things. Relationships, like everything in life, are subject to change. By accepting the transient nature of connections, we reduce our attachment to any one outcome. This understanding allows us to appreciate relationships without clinging to them, acknowledging that people come and go as part of the natural flow of life. Recognizing impermanence frees us from despair when people distance themselves, helping us to see each relationship as a gift for as long as it lasts. This perspective brings a calm acceptance, a gentle understanding that change is inevitable. Forgiveness is another powerful practice in situations of distance or rejection. Sometimes people pull away due to misunderstandings, past conflicts, or personal struggles. Holding on to resentment only weighs us down. By practicing forgiveness, we release the burden of anger or blame, allowing ourselves to move forward without bitterness. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning hurtful behavior. It means choosing to free ourselves from the pain of the past. This act of forgiveness brings healing, creating a peaceful space within us that isn't clouded by resentment. Redirecting our focus to personal growth is another effective way to handle these situations. When someone distances themselves, we can view it as an opportunity to focus on our own development. By investing in our skills, passions, and self-care, we shift our energy from external validation to internal fulfillment. Personal growth becomes a path to resilience, building a life that is rich and meaningful on its own. This shift in focus brings a sense of purpose, a reminder that our happiness is rooted in our journey, not in others' presence or absence. Another powerful Stoic lesson is to cultivate patience. When people distance themselves, our initial reaction may be to seek answers or resolve the issue immediately. But sometimes, patience is the best course of action. By allowing time to pass, we give space for clarity to emerge, for emotions to settle, and for both parties to gain perspective. Patience teaches us to trust that resolution doesn't always require immediate action, and that some situations resolve naturally over time. This calm patience prevents us from acting impulsively, helping us handle the situation with wisdom and restraint. Embracing inner peace is essential. Stoicism teaches us that peace is an internal state, not dependent on others' actions or approval. When we cultivate inner peace, we create a refuge within ourselves, a place where we can retreat no matter the circumstances. This inner calm becomes our strength, allowing us to face rejection or distance without feeling shattered. By grounding ourselves in peace, we navigate these challenges with grace, knowing that our worth and happiness are not defined by anyone else. Inner peace becomes our constant companion, a reminder that we are whole, regardless of others' choices. In embracing these Stoic principles, we learn to face rejection and distance with resilience and understanding. Rather than letting others' actions dictate our peace, we create a life that is grounded in self-worth, patience, and acceptance. Each of these steps deepens our connection to ourselves, fostering a calm that isn't easily disturbed. Through Stoic wisdom, we learn to navigate these experiences with grace, transforming them into opportunities for personal growth and inner strength. Having explored ways to handle rejection and distance with inner strength, the next layer of resilience comes in learning to act as if nothing bothers us. Stoicism offers a profound approach to this mindset, not as a means to suppress or ignore our feelings, but as a way to build an unshakable core that remains calm amidst external turmoil. This ability to remain unaffected by life's inevitable challenges is not about detachment or indifference. Rather, it's a commitment to maintain peace and composure, regardless of what's happening around us. By cultivating this mindset, we move closer to a state of emotional freedom, where our sense of self remains intact and steady. One essential practice in cultivating this resilient mindset is understanding the Stoic idea of indifference to externals. Stoics teach that our peace should not depend on circumstances beyond our control, whether it's the opinions of others, outcomes of events, or external judgments. When we learn to place our well-being in our own hands, we no longer feel shaken by external conditions. Indifference here doesn't mean not caring. It means prioritizing our own inner stability over the ever-changing world around us. This practice of focusing on what's within our control empowers us to move through life without becoming overwhelmed by each setback or success. Another aspect of this approach is cultivating emotional discipline. Acting as if nothing bothers us doesn't imply a lack of feelings. Instead, it means developing control over our reactions. Emotional discipline allows us to experience feelings without being led by them. This control prevents us from reacting impulsively, helping us respond with clarity and calm instead. By practicing emotional discipline, we build resilience to whatever comes our way, learning that we can acknowledge emotions without letting them dictate our actions. This self-mastery becomes a foundation of strength, a reminder that we have the power to maintain peace within. Mindfulness also plays a crucial role. By staying present, we reduce the tendency to dwell on past hurts or worry about future possibilities. Mindfulness allows us to focus on the moment, experiencing each event without layering it with unnecessary thoughts or assumptions. When we are fully present, we realize that many things we once perceived as bothersome are actually neutral events. Mindfulness helps us approach life without projecting fears or desires onto it, freeing us from unnecessary emotional clutter. This presence creates a calm that remains unshaken by external fluctuations, giving us clarity in every situation. Practicing detachment from outcomes is another powerful Stoic technique. Often, we become troubled when things don't go as planned or when outcomes don't meet our expectations. By releasing attachment to specific results, we free ourselves from the anxiety that comes from wanting things to turn out a certain way. Detachment doesn't mean we stop setting goals. It means we pursue them with an open mind, accepting whatever unfolds. This approach brings a peaceful resilience, a confidence that we can handle any outcome. By focusing on effort rather than results, we cultivate a calm satisfaction that remains intact, regardless of what happens. Stoicism also teaches the value of reframing challenges as opportunities for growth. When something seems bothersome, we can choose to see it as a chance to strengthen our resilience or practice patience. This shift in perspective turns obstacles into tools for self-improvement, allowing us to approach each situation with curiosity instead of frustration. Reframing brings a sense of empowerment as we see that every experience, even the challenging ones, has something to teach us. This mindset reduces feelings of annoyance or discomfort, replacing them with a sense of purpose and peace. Another aspect of this practice is maintaining boundaries. While acting as if nothing bothers us, it's essential to protect our own mental and emotional space. Boundaries help us avoid situations or interactions that consistently drain our energy. By setting and maintaining clear limits, we ensure that our peace is not compromised by others' demands or negativity. Boundaries are not about isolation, they're about creating a safe space for our own growth and well-being. This practice reinforces our ability to remain unaffected as we build a life that aligns with our values and needs rather than outside influences. Practicing self-compassion is also fundamental in building this resilient attitude. When we treat ourselves kindly, we create an internal environment of peace and understanding. Self-compassion reminds us that it's okay to feel affected, while also encouraging us to move forward without dwelling on it. This gentle approach allows us to act with strength, even in difficult moments, without forcing ourselves to feel unaffected. Self-compassion fosters a resilience rooted in kindness, a calm that isn't shaken by life's ups and downs because it is supported by a foundation of self-love and respect. Stoic detachment from judgments is another powerful way to remain calm in challenging situations. When we stop giving weight to others' opinions or judgments, we protect our inner peace. External validation or criticism becomes less important as we learn to rely on our own sense of integrity and worth. This detachment from judgment allows us to remain authentic, pursuing what feels right rather than what gains approval. By valuing our own principles over outside opinions, we become less susceptible to feeling disturbed by criticism or praise, maintaining a steady calm within. Another essential practice is focusing on inner values rather than external rewards. When our actions are guided by principles like integrity, compassion, and honesty, we create a life that is fulfilling in itself. These values bring a deep satisfaction that isn't dependent on recognition or achievement. By grounding ourselves in our values, we find peace in knowing we are living authentically, making us less vulnerable to external fluctuations. This approach fosters an internal strength, a satisfaction that remains unaffected by circumstances because it is built on qualities that no one can take away. Engaging in regular self-reflection is another way to build this unshakable calm. By regularly examining our thoughts and actions, we become aware of areas where we may be overly sensitive or reactive. Self-reflection allows us to identify triggers and work on responding to them with more resilience. This practice of introspection helps us understand ourselves better, reducing the likelihood of being disturbed by external events. Self-awareness brings clarity, allowing us to act with intention rather than being swayed by temporary emotions. Through reflection, we strengthen our inner calm, creating a steady foundation that withstands outside pressures. Practicing gratitude also supports this stoic mindset. Gratitude reminds us of the abundance we already have, shifting our focus from what's missing to what is present. By appreciating life's blessings, we build a mindset that isn't easily disturbed by temporary inconveniences or losses. Gratitude fosters a contentment that goes beyond circumstances, a calm that isn't dependent on what we receive or achieve. This appreciation for life's simple joys creates a resilience to external disturbances, as we realize that our happiness is rooted in gratitude, not in external gains or validations. Physical self-care is another essential component. A healthy body supports a healthy mind, and by caring for our physical well-being, we strengthen our resilience to stress. Exercise, good nutrition, and adequate rest contribute to a balanced mood, making it easier to remain calm in challenging situations. Physical well-being reinforces emotional stability, helping us face difficulties with a clear mind and a strong body. This commitment to self-care is a reminder that we are worth the effort, building a foundation of strength that supports our inner peace. Embracing simplicity is another Stoic approach that supports this mindset. By reducing distractions and focusing on what truly matters, we create a life that is calm and purposeful. Simplicity allows us to focus on essentials, freeing us from the burden of unnecessary stress. This approach cultivates a peaceful environment, one that doesn't feel disturbed by external events because it is rooted in clarity. By simplifying our lives, we reduce the sources of irritation, fostering a calm that remains unshaken by trivial matters. Practicing patience allows us to face challenges without feeling overwhelmed. Patience is a quiet strength that helps us move through difficulties with calm. When we cultivate patience, we give ourselves permission to take things slowly, to approach each moment with understanding rather than urgency. This patience creates space for reflection, reducing the likelihood of impulsive reactions. Patience teaches us that everything unfolds in its own time, allowing us to face life's trials with a steady heart and a calm mind. By embodying these Stoic principles, we cultivate a state of mind that is resilient and grounded, one that remains unaffected by external events. Acting as if nothing bothers us doesn't mean ignoring challenges. It means building a foundation of peace and inner strength that keeps us steady. Through these practices, we create a life of calm resilience, one where our happiness and sense of self are rooted within, untouched by the changing world around us. Moving from the foundation of inner peace that allows us to remain unbothered by external events, we now turn to a deeper layer of Stoic wisdom, disarming those who may harbor resentment or negative feelings toward us. Navigating relationships where dislike or animosity exists can be challenging and emotionally draining. However, Stoicism offers practical lessons to help us face these situations with grace, poise, and self-assurance, rather than responding with defensiveness or anger. By applying these principles, we can create an environment that diffuses tension, turning moments of potential conflict into opportunities for peace and understanding. A core principle to embrace is practicing restraint. When faced with those who despise us, the instinct to react defensively or prove our point can be strong. But restraint helps us avoid adding fuel to the fire, keeping the exchange calm and controlled. By choosing not to engage in negative back and forth, we protect our peace and show that we are not easily rattled. This calm composure can disarm hostility, as it leaves little room for confrontation to escalate. Restraint conveys confidence and dignity, qualities that are difficult to undermine. Another effective approach is to respond with kindness. Stoic wisdom teaches that kindness has a transformative power. When we treat those who dislike us with respect and compassion, we challenge their assumptions and expectations. This doesn't mean that we need to go out of our way to please them, but simply responding with a kind word or gesture can shift the dynamic. Kindness often catches people off guard, and in many cases, it softens their stance. By choosing kindness, we build a bridge rather than a wall, creating a possibility for understanding. Maintaining neutrality is also a powerful way to handle animosity. Neutrality means refusing to take things personally, recognizing that others' reactions are often more about them than about us. By staying neutral, we create a buffer that prevents their hostility from affecting our emotional state. This detachment allows us to observe the situation without becoming entangled in it. Neutrality shows strength, a calm assurance that doesn't rely on approval or validation. By remaining emotionally steady, we send a message that we are in control of our own peace. Stoicism also encourages us to practice empathy. When others despise us, it can be helpful to consider what may be driving their feelings. Perhaps they are dealing with their own insecurities or struggles, projecting these onto us. By seeing beyond their hostility, we humanize them, reducing the impact of their negativity. Empathy doesn't excuse poor behavior, but it allows us to approach the situation with understanding rather than anger. This perspective softens our response, helping us interact with patience rather than hostility. Self-confidence is another key Stoic lesson in disarming animosity. When we hold a strong sense of self-worth, we are less affected by others' opinions. Confidence helps us stand firm without feeling the need to defend or explain ourselves excessively. By knowing our own value, we are better equipped to face negativity with calm assurance. Self-confidence creates a barrier against hostility, as it shows that we do not rely on others for validation. This inner strength disarms those who wish to see us falter, as it becomes clear that their words hold little power over us. Practicing silence can also be a powerful response to animosity. Sometimes, saying nothing at all is the best way to diffuse tension. Silence conveys a calm strength, a refusal to be drawn into conflict. By choosing silence, we avoid feeding the hostility and give ourselves time to reflect on the best course of action. This quiet response can be unsettling to those who expect a reaction, often leading them to reconsider their approach. Silence becomes a tool for peace, a way to protect our energy and remain in control of the interaction. Another lesson is to focus on self-improvement rather than reacting to criticism. When others express dislike, it's tempting to fixate on their opinions. Instead, focusing on our own growth allows us to channel energy productively. Self-improvement shifts the focus away from others' judgments, grounding us in our own journey. By dedicating ourselves to becoming better, we render hostility irrelevant, as our value is not determined by outside opinions. This commitment to growth strengthens our resilience, making us less susceptible to negativity. Stoicism also teaches us the power of perspective. Often, those who despise us are reacting to a small part of who we are, not the entirety. By seeing the situation from a wider lens, we realize that others' opinions are limited and don't define us. Perspective helps us avoid magnifying minor issues, allowing us to approach hostility with calm objectivity. This broader view reduces the sting of animosity, reminding us that we are complex beings, far beyond any one person's judgment. Forgiveness is another essential Stoic practice in handling those who despise us. Holding on to resentment only ties us emotionally to the negativity. By choosing forgiveness, we free ourselves from the burden of hostility, allowing us to move forward without bitterness. Forgiveness doesn't mean tolerating poor behavior. It simply means letting go of anger for our own peace of mind. This act of release brings a sense of calm, a reminder that we are not controlled by others' opinions. Forgiveness disarms hostility, as it shows that we are focused on inner peace rather than conflict. Focusing on what we can control is another powerful approach. We cannot change others' feelings or actions, but we can control our response. By focusing on our own behavior, we take back the power that hostility may try to take from us. This shift allows us to stay centered, unaffected by external negativity. When we concentrate on what's within our control, we no longer feel at the mercy of others' moods or judgments. This control fosters a steady peace, a calm that isn't shaken by outside opinions. Choosing not to seek revenge or retaliate is also essential. Stoicism teaches that responding to hostility with hostility only creates more conflict. By refusing to retaliate, we maintain our integrity and dignity. This choice reflects strength, a decision to rise above negativity rather than sink into it. Non-retaliation disarms hostility, as it shows that we are in control of our own actions, refusing to be pulled into a cycle of conflict. This restraint brings a sense of peace, a reminder that true strength lies in self-control. Practicing humility is another valuable Stoic lesson. Sometimes animosity arises from misunderstandings or perceived slights. By practicing humility, we show that we are willing to acknowledge our own imperfections. This openness can soften hostility, as it demonstrates a willingness to learn and grow. Humility doesn't mean self-deprecation. It means recognizing that we are all human, capable of mistakes. This attitude creates a space for understanding, reducing the barriers that hostility builds. Focusing on inner peace is essential in disarming animosity. Stoicism teaches that peace is found within, not in external validation. When we cultivate inner peace, we become less affected by others' negativity. This calm inner state becomes a shield against hostility, a reminder that our happiness isn't dictated by others' opinions. Inner peace allows us to approach animosity with grace, knowing that our worth is self-defined. This calm presence disarms negativity, creating an environment where hostility loses its power. Through these Stoic lessons, we learn to handle animosity with wisdom and resilience. Rather than letting hostility disturb our peace, we cultivate a strength that remains steady no matter how others perceive us. These principles empower us to face challenging relationships with calm assurance, transforming moments of potential conflict into opportunities for growth and understanding. By applying these teachings, we create a life rooted in inner peace, free from the weight of others' negativity. In a world filled with unpredictability and noise, learning to stay calm isn't just a skill, it's a strength that transforms how we experience life. Stoicism teaches us that true peace comes from within, from mastering our responses, letting go of what we can't control, and grounding ourselves in self-awareness, gratitude, and resilience. When we embrace each moment, detach from expectations, and connect deeply with ourselves, we become unshakable even in the face of life's challenges. Calm becomes our anchor, empowering us to face any situation with confidence and grace. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one Stoic lesson you plan to apply to stay calm in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm excited to see how you'll incorporate these principles. And if you found value in these insights, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's continue this journey of growth and resilience together. Thank you for watching, and stay strong in calmness.